I remember now.
But
I know what you're talking
I'm trying
about.
to think how many silent films I've seen.
I've seen a couple. Like anytime you see a who's that guy with the mustache, with the Hitler mustache?
Charlie Chaplin.
Anytime you see a Charlie Chaplin movie, that's technically a silent
Yes.
film. But I've seen a couple.
Except for The Great Dictator. But anyway, yeah.
Oh yeah, they did talk in that.
The if you're interested, the movie channel does Silent Sunday Nights.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. So I've seen
Okay.
quite a few. Some I liked, some I didn't like at all.
And how much better does a silent movie have to be as far as acting goes to get the story across when you don't have words?
As a person who's not a natural silent film fan, I would say that because of the aspect you bring up, I think most of the actors in those days overacted
Overact.
Yeah.
to try and overcome
Almost like
that.
being on a
On a
stage when you have to play to such a big audience and somebody in the very back.
And Max could address this better than I, but I think probably so many of those actors came from the stage.
or were working 90% on the stage, 10% on film.
So there are a lot of those actors that couldn't make the transition to talkies. In fact, there's been movies about that.
Yes.
I want to ask Max, aside from the artist, and I brought it up to him earlier, the first 30 minutes of Wall-E, are they still making silent movies? Or, something akin to it?
I'm sure someone is just for the artsy part of it.
The artsy-fartsy part of it. Yes.
But
And so many people revere Mel Brooks, who's 100 years old, for all of his great comedies. He did silent movie. You remember that?
No.
He did a silent movie.
Huh.
One word is said in the film.
What's the word?
No, by Marcel Marceau.
Oh, who was a mime.
Who was a mime.
Okay, that's funny.
1976 silent movie. Huh. I've never seen this.
It's not that good.
Well, Max is going to tell us about some must-see silent movies. Then a little later in the 3 o'clock, we're going to be joined by the chairman, CEO, and president of Benjamin F. Edwards. They're supporting our Christmas in July effort. So we'll tell you what's coming up next Friday night. In the 4 o'clock, as I said, we've got a fun show today. We're going to be joined by the president of St. Louis Fringe Fest, and Fringe Fest 26 is quickly approaching. So Matthew Kearns will join us and tell us what we can expect. How many stages are there? I know that there's theater and musicals and dance, but it's so much more than that. So we'll kind of get a rundown and tell you what you can expect in the next couple of weeks. We'll also check in with Rich Frankel with ABC. He's a former special agent in charge FBI, and a new, I guess a new statement just came out from the Secret Service saying that the threat level has never been higher. And so we'll talk to Rich. Is that for all of us? Or are we talking about threats to the White House? But
to the government?
Yes, we'll find out what's going on there. And then in the 5 o'clock, a St. Louis born comedian is returning home for a one-night show here at Westport Funny Bone. And she's going to join us this afternoon at 5:10. We'll find out, of course, where she went to high school. But
shall I tell you?
No.
You have to let her tell us.
Right.
But taking that stage wasn't her first gig. She was actually a high school English teacher. So we'll find out what kind of led her to taking that leap of faith and what is her biggest material. I know she's also a mother and wife. So who out of those four gives her the most material? That's coming up. We got some entertainment news, and then we'll wrap this show up with some randoms.
I've got a question since you just brought it up. If you did stand up, who would have the most material? Your mom, your dad, Marsha, the dog? I feel like these days, and people have said it to me, they're like, Josh, you're a little fin heavy. You're a little fin heavy with your anecdotes. We want to hear about more stuff.
I do think it's usually the person that you spend the most time with, and I feel like that is Marsha.
Kathleen Madigan famously dumps on her mom all the time.
She does. Sometimes her sister. Every once in a while, her brother. But yeah.
Yeah.
But they know it's coming and no one cares.
Yeah.
They're used to it now.
I don't think it's too much Finn.
Okay. All right.
I think your friends are wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I would agree with you.
I would say, hey, Bob said it wasn't. So
Yeah.
here's another picture.
There is a line you can't cross.
Yeah,
You're
I
just
know.
not there yet.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of him, my wife is going to dinner tonight. We have a friend who is going in for a procedure, and they're going to do one last hurrah. So it's a girls' dinner tonight. So me and Finn are going to go swimming. I have a question for you guys.
Okay, but before you get there,
Yeah.
our texter from yesterday said, hey, Heidi, yesterday you said the kids could swim today. They did. Kids do not feel cold.
They don't, but ask that texter, say, did you get in?
Well, you just did.
Did you wear your wetsuit?
We didn't go swimming last night. We're going tonight.
I will say I got in my pool this morning. And
This morning?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Just,
it was cool this morning.
yeah, but it wasn't that bad.
Do you have a heater?
We do, but it's not on.
It's not on.
Mm-mm.
You don't need it to be on because of the weeks we had last week, Bob.
And Sunday, it's going to warm up again. But I
Sunday
will tell you
will.
this, tonight is going to be a gorgeous night for Sarah McLachlan at,
Oh, are you going?
yes,
Oh,
Where is it?
it is at the music park.
Mini
Here at-
Mini Riverport,
Yeah.
St. Louis Music Park, on the way to the casino, where the Blues practice their hockey.
Oh,
They've got a little
there's a little amphitheater
a
there.
mini
Uh-huh.
Riverport.
Well, I'll be
And then
darned.
Allison Russell is opening, and Allison Russell
know
has a
that.
beautiful voice as well. So it's going to be a gorgeous night
Do
for
they
that.
have a grassy hill there as well?
Not a hit. No, they have bleachers, but then outside they have cornhole and like food trucks.
Okay,
And
but you can't watch the show from the
No.
grass. Okay. All right. I'm going swimming tonight. Here's the question. A poll online. People were split 50-50. 52% of people say that before they get in the pool, they do not rinse off or take a shower. And 44% say that they do every time.
I've never taken a shower before I've gotten in a
I
pool.
haven't either.
When I was a kid, when you went to the Maplewood pool, that was a rule.
You
That's a
had
rule.
to.
At
Yeah.
every public pool you go to, they have showers. They have a sign that says you must take a shower before getting in the pool. I never do. I maybe once or twice. Maybe someone was looking at me the wrong way, and I better go rinse off. But
The only time I have done that is when I'm coming back up from the beach and my feet are sandy, and I'll do a
You rinse
rinse off
Oh, yeah.
before you.
after,
No,
before you get
before you get into the pool,
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't want to track
Okay.
any sand
Oh,
in.
sand
But
in the
other
pool,
than
yeah.
that,
They say this says it seems unnecessary, but the biggest factor is keeping the pool
clean. Yes.
all the dirt and grime that comes off of you and goes directly into the water. Can you imagine what goes in there when you mow the
Yes.
lawn and then jump in the pool? Dirt, sweat, oils that are on your body from body products.
I
stuff
got to
that's
tell
in
you,
your hair.
it's why I
all of-
love having my own pool.
So you
it's-
don't have to worry about this.
It's
Mm-mm.
stuff.
chlorine.
It all
Leave
comes off in
It's
the water.
fine.
I'm stunned that 44% of people said they do.
Or
And
maybe they're just saying
Or
it.
maybe they're just saying it
Yeah.
because someone's asking them
Yeah.
the question.
I would contest that number.
I mean, I worked at a pool as a lifeguard in the summer. Heidi, you did too.
Mm-hmm.
Never did I rinse off before I got in the
We
pool.
didn't have a shower. That
There
you
wasn't
could
even, not even
no.
in the changing room. We had big showers in the changing room, but nobody.
I don't think there was even a shower in the changing room.
You know, I worked at the
But
front
it's been a
desk.
long time.
Nobody ran in there, showered, and then ran into the pool.
So you were at a public pool.
Yes.
Did they have the little baskets with the safety pin little number?
Oh yeah, isn't that
Those
fun?
are kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
What, were they like little
You-
cubbies to put your stuff in?
Yeah, but
Yes.
it was just really a basket
Mhm.
Yeah.
that slid in, and you put
No,
the
we
little
didn't have those.
and
You
the
just-
little safety pin thing with the
Yeah.
number you'd put onto your trunks.
Huh. No, we just stuffed stuff under the chairs. Hope for the best.
Then
yeah.
why worry about a shower?
Yeah.
Somebody said I've only done it when it was required. The public pool where I grew up would not let you swim unless you came out
Mhm.
of the dressing room wet.
Correct.
Who was the employee that stood there? I don't know. Those knees are looking a little dry. You know?
Well, I think they're probably looking at hair.
Yeah, hair.
Yeah, they were there. Trust me, they were there. That was
Uh-huh.
part of the gig.
Have the job. You know, Darren is not with us today.
So we're going to give away Josh's money.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Whatever he's got in his pocket.
I'm going to say
$7 a song.
Okay.
Oh, a song. I
And
was
that's
thinking
generous.
$7 altogether.
Feeling generous.
But according to an online poll, and I want to see artists with no bad songs. I think that everybody's had a bad song. Can you say that?
If you're a fanboy, you might just love everything they do.
But I'm pretty crazy about Winona, and I would say, ugh.
You got to be honest with yourself. We did a segment, the Joe Hipperson Hip Nights, 15 years ago,
That was
Saturday
a great
nights.
show.
It was so much fun to
A
do.
really fun show to listen to.
We did a segment called Worst of the Best.
Oh,
The worst song by your favorite artist.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
And mine was Obla Di Obla Da by the Beatles.
And I don't think that's a bad song.
Oh, I hate it.
I don't think it's a bad song.
People come in and say Octopus's Garden, Maxwell Silver Hammer.
I like all those.
Yellow Submarine, people think is so stupid, but Obla Di Obla Da takes the cake.
I would tell you the White Fleetwood Mac album and Rumors have no bad songs on either one.
Okay, but then they started pushing into the 80s.
But you say if you take an artist and so you got to take all of Fleetwood Mac. Oh, yeah, they've got some bad ones. In fact, they did an album without Buckingham in the 90s that was truly atrocious.
Really?
Oh.
And I think the question the artist's entire catalog.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if you look
yeah,
at Fleetwood Mac 66 to technically now, there have been some stinkers.
there's perfect albums out there.
Yes.
I'm going to say Michael Jackson doesn't have too many bad songs.
Oh,
Name one.
I'm not the most giant fan, so I'm going to have to sit this one out.
at the early 90s with that I think it was a double. Was it a double album, the Dangerous album?
I like the Dangerous album.
And then towards the late 90s he started putting out more records, and I think he was starting to fall off there. There's Heal the World. I think it's a stupid song. I know what he was going for, but it's just not a really good song.
In your opinion.
In my opinion.
Right. In your opinion.
Correct.
Johnny Cash.
Oh, yeah, especially some of his later things. You appreciated the gravitas of who he was, but, I think I would
You would say that he had a couple bad ones?
Oh, I would say when you put out 50 albums, you're going to have some bad songs.
Bob Dylan, poet laureate, he's got a ton of bad songs.
More than good. I think the good ones are great.
Yeah.
All right. What about Prince?
There's got to be a stinker in there somewhere.
I'm just saying, I don't know. These are on ranker.com people naming artists who they think do not have a bad song.
In the mid 2000s, he put out a triple album. Okay. A triple album.
Okay.
You're telling me that all those songs needed to be released? There's got to be a stinker somewhere in there.
Well, you're playing the odds without the evidence.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm going to go on I'm stepping on the edge here.
As a bettor, that's
As
your
a
bet.
betting man.
Somebody on the text line said, I've never heard a Jimi Hendrix song I didn't like.
Oh,
Okay.
I love Hendrix.
Yeah.
Love him.
Short career, though.
I would say there are a couple that are like, well, okay, Jimmy, what were you on that day?
Yeah. Rolling Stones, Shattered. Hate that song. I hate that song.
I don't hate it, but I see why you do. I do. I really do.
84126. Who is your favorite artist? And let's be honest, what is their worst song?
Mm-hmm.
So, we can go through Prince, but I don't think, unless you're a fan, you don't know his entire catalog. So if you're a big fan of an artist and they've got a real stinker, we want to hear from you. 84126 on the text line.
You can actually go to the St. Louis County Library and check out some of your albums. Maybe you don't have all of them just lying around, or you don't want to download it, but you'll find everything. And I mean everything at the St. Louis County Library, even the Library of Things, which I think a lot of people are surprised to learn that the St. Louis County Library has. It's a unique collection of non-traditional library items. I'm talking about musical instruments, GoPro cameras, Binoculars, if you're kind of on the edge and want to do a little bird watching, but you don't want to go buy expensive binoculars just yet, you can check them out at the Library of Things at St. Louis County Library. As I said, there's so much going on. There's all sorts of story times, and there's author series, and there's the Teen Creative Lab and the History and Genealogy Center. You'll find it all at slcl.org. Ah. I don't mind this song.
It's not very good.
Isn't that
I think it's fun.
Isn't that the song they play at the end of? Oh, that the movie about that the Beatles never existed.
Oh, Yesterday.
Oh, Yesterday.
Yeah.
Isn't that the song they play at the end of the movie? It's really fun.
Could I jump in here really
Yes,
quick? I
please.
know I'm
Next
not
Voice
on
joins us.
your show for another 5 minutes, but
we always welcome you.
this topic is an interesting one. I consider myself to be a pretty massive fan of some of the artists that you guys mentioned, including Prince and David Bowie and the Rolling Stones. They all have atrocious songs.
That's fair.
I absolutely love the Rolling Stones. I love them so very much. Greatest band of all time.
What do you think about Shattered?
Right, Shattered's a great song, but they have some songs that are absolutely atrocious. Same thing with David Bowie. He's got whole records that are just unlistenable.
But was it always later career, like
No.
Bob said in the
No,
90s?
Bowie's first couple records are not very
Are
good.
bad.
When he's doing songs like The Laughing Gnome, which you've never heard of for good reason.
Yeah.
But then also you did mention Prince's triple album called Emancipation, which he did to get out of a Warner Brothers contract. That's actually a really good triple album. And the second record was all instrumentals, which he walked down the aisle to when he got married for the first time. That's actually a really good triple record. So I had to come in here and defend that one. But no, I think every artist, no matter if you love them, like what Winona, you still have bad songs. It's kind of like saying that every single Heidi, Bob, and Josh show has been wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
That might be true.
okay.
That might be
Bad
true.
example.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's Hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident. We have specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale, especially C6, C7, and Classic Corvettes. I'm an immediate buyer for very clean, low-mile examples. Hop on our site, MasterCarsInc.com, or give us a call to submit what you have. We'll even come to you if we have to. Owe money on it? Don't worry. We'll make the payoff and pay your equity right on the spot. This has been a fantastic Corvette summer, and I want to keep it rolling.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Bondras dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
You know that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. 1 great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
Summer is a time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days, even movie nights. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, their struggles don't take a vacation. That's why all of us here at KTRS are partnering with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for a Christmas in July promotion.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. We'll be hosting another family movie night at Westport Plaza for a free showing of The Sandlot, Friday, July 31st. Come out and enjoy the movie on the massive screen at Westport Plaza and bring an unwrapped toy or non-perishable item for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis.
Whew, only 10 million more lists to go.
This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. So come out to Movie Friday, July 31st for a special screening of The Sandlot. Or visit ccstl.org and make a donation today. It's the Royal Banks of Missouri Christmas in July promotion on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by Appliance Discounters, Schnarr's Hardware, Connor Roofing, Metal Exchange, the St. Louis Cardinals, and Altair Travel.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 3:33. We're going to talk silent movies with Max after we talk a little traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi 64 West is a little slow in front of Forest Park, but it's bumper to bumper from Prospect to I-70. 64 East bogs down at 170. In Illinois, 64 East is jammed from just east of 157 to 159. 5570 West heavy between 255 and Illinois 111. And 5570 East is slow from 64 to near 111. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
What's on at the movies?
What's on at the movies? And now it's Max on Movies on the Heidi Glaus Show. Here is KTRS's very own movie guru, Matt Swayze on the Big 550, the movie talk of St. Louis.
Well, before the talkies took over, it was all silent movies. Max is back to talk about some must-sees. And I was saying earlier, I think the only silent movie I've ever seen is The Artist.
Right. Well, that is something I'll be talking about when we get to 2012, I think, is when that movie came out. Yeah. Did you like The Artist?
I did like The Artist.
But you didn't think, let me go back and watch some others?
I guess because I didn't have a list from Max Swayze.
Well, so I thought about talking about this because there's been a couple of interesting things this year that have come about that have reminded me about silent pictures. One of them is a new one in theaters tomorrow called Motor City, starring Alan Ritchson, who people know as Reacher on TV.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
I really like him.
Yeah, well, so this is a movie that was a movie I saw this week, and all I knew is a 70s crime thriller set in Detroit, which is why it's called Motor City. And that's all I knew about it. And so it was about maybe the third song in the movie after they played some David Bowie and Fleetwood Mac and Donna Summer. Then I realized nobody's talking. And this is a stealth silent picture called Motor City.
And it kept your attention.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, silent pictures absolutely keep your attention because they kind of have to, don't they? I mean,
that's what I was saying. I mean,
the storytelling, the acting,
the music.
The nice thing about motion pictures is it's a visual medium. And so if you have a capable actor, they can act with their eyes, they can act with a different look, a different glance. It's a very different style of acting than when the talkies came about. The other movie this year that made me want to do this list was, of all things, and this was another big shock, Minions and Monsters. Because this was the newest Minions picture, which is set during the silent era of motion pictures. And there are nods and references to about 3 different filmmakers that we'll be talking about in this list. They even do a gag where the Minions lose their success because they have a hard time transferring their talents to sound, which of course happens with actual people in motion pictures. They were gigantic stars who once they started talking, they couldn't do it and they lost their fandom.
What's the film? Real quick, the film with Gene Kelly about the actress that can't make the transition.
It's got to be Singing in the Rain.
Yeah, it is. It's Singing in the Rain.
And there's also Sunset Boulevard with Gloria Stewart, I believe was her name, which is a wonderful film, which also is about
Gloria Swanson,
where she says, that I didn't get from all the pictures got smaller.
Great line.
And the other reason why I want to talk about this is because I mentioned this on the Carney Show a couple of times. My family and I have this tradition called pizza and movie night, where every Sunday night we make a pizza and we watch a movie.
I love it.
And this is something that we've done for a very long time now. And so every Sunday it's somebody else's turn. So it's my turn, or it's my wife Katie, or it's our son Oscar. And when he was, 5, 6, 7, we're always picking the kids' movies and whatever animated thing. And it was kind of it was something where I don't think any of us really enjoyed it except him until he got a little bit older. And I was picking a bunch of things from the 80s that I liked. And so was Katie. And then I realized this is kind of like, this is me being selfish. It's kind of like a little captive film school that I have here. And we should go back and watch the classics. So I announced to my family as they rolled their eyes.
And your wife said what exactly?
I mean, she's game. She's game for it. But I said, this year is the year of silent pictures. And every Sunday so far this year, I've picked a silent picture. And so these are the ones that I've picked. And so it's been wonderful to see Katie's reaction to these, and of course Oscar's as well, and the conversations that would follow about how these movies have influenced storytelling in cinema. And plus, the oldest one that we watched is 1920, and here it is 2026. These are more than 100 years old, which is incredible to be able to find these and watch these. So.
All right, so let's start with your list.
All right, so I'll go through these pretty quickly here because I've already spent a lot of time just talking about stuff.
I love it, though.
Well, the first one we watched was called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and this is from 1920. And if you're a fan of Tim Burton's films or even David Lynch's films, a more of a fantastical, surreal type of movie, this in 1920 was kind of the beginnings of what they became known as German Expressionism, which means you had cardboard painted sets and you had wild hairstyles. If you're familiar with the Penguin from Batman Returns, Danny DeVito's character, it's based on this movie. He looks just like the villain in this movie. The next one we watched was one of the earliest versions of Dracula called Nosferatu from 1922. This was recently remade in what I thought was just an awful motion picture a couple of years ago. So if you saw that one and didn't like it, seek out the one from 1922. What's interesting about this is F.W. Murnau, the film director, tried to get the rights to Dracula, was not successful. So he changed some names and pretty much did his own version of it. Well, Bram Stoker's widow sued him and won. And part of the judgment in her favor was to have every copy of Nosferatu destroyed. And thanks to piracy, we are able to watch the film now because some people kept some copies from 1922.
That is so interesting. Even then,
of course, copyright. Yeah, you still own what you created.
But I mean, and people were still, keeping it illegally.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. The next one was from 1923, the first film version of Hunchback of Notre Dame, which had the great Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces. They even made a movie about him called that, but he did his own makeup as Quasimodo. Incredible. One of the best versions of that story, actually. But then after watching those three, my son said, are all the silent films horror films?
I was going to ask the same thing. Thank you, Oscar.
Just adds interest.
And this was a great question that came from my 15-year-old because I realized, I'm showing him these because I like horror films. So let's switch it up. So we went to 1923 to watch a great comedy written and directed and starring the great Harold Lloyd, who is all but forgotten these days. He's got these little round John Lennon glasses.
Is that the one with the clock?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is his most famous one called Safety Last. He also has a great one called Girl Trouble and The Freshman, but we went with Safety Last because of the clock scene. He did all of his own stunts. He was an inspiration for Jackie Chan. So if you've seen some Jackie Chan movies, he does some Harold Lloyd stunts. This is a really, really wonderful, hilarious comedy. We wanted to keep the comedies going. So the next Sunday, we watched the great Buster Keaton in 1924's Sherlock Jr., where he plays a film projectionist who watches detective stories and then he falls asleep and imagines that he's the detective in the story. There's a great billiard scene that I still don't know how Buster Keaton pulled it off. It's wonderful stuff.
And a lot of this stuff, because there is no talking, you have a lot of pratfalls and a lot of stunts and a lot of, how'd they do that kind of stuff?
It was pretty much all practical. There were some camera effects, especially in the German movies where, you're not actually cutting somebody's throat, and same thing with Safety Last. Harold Lloyd is hanging from a clock, but it's not quite as high as you would think. So there were still some
camera
nice
tricks,
exactly,
distance. Yeah.
And like, what is that one famous scene where is it Charlie Chaplin and the house falls over?
That's
and
Buster Keaton.
Buster Keaton.
That's from The General, I believe. And
amazing.
But same thing. That's something that he actually did that. There's another Buster Keaton gag in Sherlock Jr. where it looks like he jumps through a person through a fence, and they showed in the special features how they did that. It's a double and another person. It's really incredible.
Isn't
stuff.
it Keaton that did the one? He was on the cow catcher on a locomotive, and it keep taking logs off.
Yes.
Isn't that
Yeah,
Keaton?
it is. It is
unbelievable.
And they also talked about how some of these people, including Harold Lloyd, blew up his own hand because of a special effect gone wrong.
On accident?
Yes. And
are there certain perimeters
Buster
when
Keaton did too.
comes to silent movies? Are there certain, do you need to fit something in a box? Does it need to be a certain length, or the sky's the limit, just like our movies today?
Just like our movies today, you had dramas, you had science fiction films, horror films, comedies like Sherlock Jr. and Safety Last. We skipped ahead for another comedy. I wanted to show my son the big three. So that to me was Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, and Charlie Chaplin. So we went a bit later in Chaplin's career and I showed him Modern Times from 1936, which is an almost silent film. There's a couple of lines of dialogue, just like Motor City has a couple lines of dialogue, but it's a hilarious film. And there's some really great things that Chaplin did in that one too. I almost showed him City Lights, which has his character, the kid, or the vagrant, but I decided to go with Modern Times instead.
The Kid's my all-time favorite. You can't watch it without crying. It's unbelievable.
That's why I went with Modern Times because it's
Really?
more silly, and City Lights is very sad toward
City Lights,
the end. Yeah.
And The Kid is, it's really a fantastic film.
One of the more recent ones we watched was from 1927, a science fiction film that really has to be seen to be believed, maybe the best one on this list, and that would be Metropolis. And this is a film that just, when you watch it, you really can't believe it was made 100 years ago now, or 99 years ago now. It's just an incredible achievement about, I think it's about the working class. I think it's about workers' rights. And this is back in 1927. And plus, there's a machine, there's AI overtones, and this is 99 years
so it's
ago. Which
predicting the future.
Yes,
pretty much,
absolutely,
and
yeah.
pretty close.
And the sets are wonderful too.
C-3PO's in it.
Yeah, well, the design for C-3PO is based upon what they called the Machine Man, even though the Machine Man has a very feminine look. I think that's interesting too.
Yeah.
And then from that same year, the very first winner of Best Picture at the Academy Awards, and the only silent film to win until 2013. We'll get to that in a minute because Heidi brought it up. But I'm talking about a movie called Wings, which stars the great Clara Bow. And this is about two gentlemen who go off to become pilots in World War I and the woman that they both love. And it's a bit long. It's more than 2 hours long. And it does kind of feel its length. You're like, okay, guys. But the aerial shots were incredible. You can tell how it influenced Star Wars. And this was the very first winner of Best Picture until 2013. When they gave that award to another silent picture, which has, I think, one line of dialogue, I think maybe spoken by St. Louis's own John Goodman.
I think so too.
And that's the movie called The Artist, which I was hopeful that when that movie swept the Oscars, that it was going to bring a big spotlight on silent cinema. That didn't happen. And that's too bad because The Artist is a very fun movie about that era in film. I just wish that more people would have gone back to watch some of these other classics.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great list.
Oh, thank you so much. And then my final one is a silent film that I just watched with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. This was another Oscar winner for Best Animated Film. And this one came out in 2024. And it's a film we've talked about a couple times here on the show. It's an animated film from Latvia called Flow. And this is about the black cat that is in a weather event and has to find safety. And we watched this with the symphony doing the score.
Isn't it so cool?
It was so cool because they had an intermission, and the first half I kept forgetting about all the wonderful players on stage because I was so engrossed in this silent movie. And after the intermission, I said, I have to really pay attention to the xylophone player and the organist. And so I made an effort to do that in the second half. But my message, if anybody's listening now, is just take a chance on one of these silent films because you'll forget it's a silent film within about 10 minutes because the story will become number one for you.
Couple of things for me. One of the movies I'm picking is Recency Bias, and that's because of watching Turner Classic.
Sure.
And they have Silent Sunday nights.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't?
No.
Well,
that's
after
great.
you play yours on Sunday night, I think Silent Sunday night comes on about 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. They just did a little sort of a mini documentary from 1913, the first African-American cast, but the film never was released.
Okay.
It's called Lime Kiln Field Day. And here's what's weird. Everybody in it is African-American, and the lead guy So, but it was fascinating. And so, but an hour or so of the film was saved somehow, and they put it together, and now it's been kind of almost kind of released. Lime Kiln Field Day. I think I will
write
would
that
like
down.
it. And then already mentioned The Kid.
Yeah.
That's one I just don't think you can top it. And then maybe at the bottom of the list, you know, I'm a big Mel Brooks fan.
Oh, yeah. Silent movie. I like Silent Movie. I mean, it's not one of his better ones, but
No.
I like Silent.
Okay.
I like High Anxiety. I like a whole bunch of Mel Brooks
So
that
do
other
I.
people don't like.
So do I.
Yeah.
So
Silent
what's coming
movie's
up
okay.
this weekend?
This weekend, we're keeping it with the number one movie at the box office, which is The Odyssey. There's a lot to chew on there, especially now that Elon Musk says he's going to do an all AI version of The Odyssey for historical accuracy, which is funny when we're talking about witches and Cyclops and everything. You can't really have historical accuracy.
Good
So I'm not
point.
sure what he's talking about there, but we're going to be talking about The Odyssey, and the next week we'll talk about Motor City and some more silent films.
All right. Well, this is fun. Thanks, Max.
Thank you.
Ask any designer and they'll tell you lighting is key. It's Heidi, and you can completely transform your home with Nora Lighting, which is available at my go-to store, Metro Lighting. From recessed to under cabinet lighting, Nora helps brighten every corner beautifully. Visit Metro Lighting St. Louis area showrooms to explore all the Nora Lighting solutions, or check them out online at metrolightingcenters.com.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Discover how you can make lasting summer memories with a home equity line of credit from Royal Banks of Missouri. Whether you're envisioning a new backyard oasis or an unforgettable family getaway, you can enjoy peace of mind with flexible, convenient funding to turn your dreams into reality. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com today to learn how you can apply for a home equity line of credit. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Okay, you've decided you want to get away. You want to travel. You want to see the world. Let Altair Travel and Cruises handle all the details. You handle all the fun. You don't know where to stay. You don't have to worry about transfers. What about your luggage? What about a tour guide? You don't want a tour guide. Lewis and Clark had a tour guide. You're in a different country. You want to go see the Sistine Chapel. You're going to need a tour guide. Let Altair Travel handle all those details. You handle all the fun. 314-968-9600. Altair Travel or altairtravel.com.
If it's time to replace your windows and doors, choose Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis. Pella's trusted local experts work in your area and within your budget, backed by the most preferred window and door brand by homeowners. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Study of homeowner perceptions of leading national brands. Study commissioned by Pella 2023.
Did you know Florissant is 240 years old this year? Come out and celebrate 240 years of Florissant at the historic Old St. Ferdinand Shrine. Join the City of Florissant and Old Town Partners for an evening of community and fun. Festivities begin at 5:30 with the unveiling of a 240th anniversary plaque, followed by live music from North Wind's Band at 6 and a family-friendly movie beginning at 7:30. Food and drinks will be available from Knights of Columbus 2951, sponsored by C&B St. Louis Bank and Helfers. Come celebrate Florissant's past, present, and future. We'll see you at the Old St. Ferdinand Shrine.
That's Wednesday, July 29th. Join in the celebration.
It's about 8 minutes before 4 o'clock. Captain Paul, how's traffic moving along?
Heidi, not too bad. We have one active crash. It's an accident on 44 West at 270 on both shoulders. 64 West is a little slow in front of Forest Park and is bumper prospect to I-70. 64 East bogs down at 170. 55 South is congested from Butler Hill to 141. In Illinois, 64 East is jammed from just east of 157 to 159. 5570 West is heavy between 255 and Illinois 111. And 5570 East is slow from 64 to near 111. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of Sandlot, face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, if you missed the first night celebrating Christmas in July, you're in luck because there's another one next Friday, as Captain Paul just mentioned. Tad Edwards, Chairman, CEO, and President of Benjamin F. Edwards, joins us with a couple of reminders. But first, Tad, tell us about Benjamin F. Edwards. You founded it almost 20 years ago?
Yes, almost 20 years ago, and our family has been in this business for 139 years, and we're on our sixth generation.
I was wondering, I mean, your family, the Edwards family's name has been a part of the St. Louis landscape, as you mentioned, for close to 130 years. Do you feel like you have a reputation to uphold?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're always very much like the Catholic Charities, Heidi. We believe in the golden rule. You treat everyone the way you want to be treated. And that's why we've affiliated with the Catholic Charities, because they help people in need, and we do the same thing. We help people with their retirements and investment planning and all those good things, and the Catholic Charities helps people that may not be as fortunate as we are, and so we're very much aligned.
And talk about that partnership a little bit. I know more about Catholic Charities, but how you first connected with them and common goals and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone from there probably called us, and I've known people that have been involved at Catholic Charities, and we just feel like we're aligned on a lot of things, and we all want to help people, and we've been doing this for 6 generations, and Catholic Charities has been doing what they do for many, many years, and so we're honored to just play a small role and try to be helpful.
And Tad, with the laws being what they are now, you can donate to Catholic Charities and get a nice little write-off and make it a tax benefit for you.
That is true. Yeah, some people donate stock, some people donate cash, and there's various ways to do it. Probably property would work too. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but there's many ways to help Catholic Charities, and it's nice to know that they're doing good things.
Yeah,
they're part of United Way, which is also very reassuring.
We're so happy to have you on board. And next Friday, the Big 550 and Westport Plaza are hosting Christmas in July to support Catholic charities. You can come out, see Sandlot for free. And if you can, bring an unwrapped toy or a non-perishable food item, because as we say all the time, Ted, I mean, people are enjoying summer, kids are out of school, but there are plenty of people suffering.
There sure are. Heidi, you hit it on the head. I agree. And all good things for that.
Yeah, and the event would not happen without great sponsors like you, Tad, and Benjamin F. Edwards. Thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thanks, Heidi. All the best to you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis. So if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah. And now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news. Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613. Exclusions apply.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Is your job just the job, and you want to work in a rewarding career? If the answer is yes, then start your journey today by becoming a union construction craft laborer. Why wait? Visit buildunion.com to learn more about becoming a union craft laborer and starting a rewarding career in the construction industry. Build a career, build a future, build a legacy. Buildunion.com for more information.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Well, Heidi and Bob, back in the day, on this date, July 23rd, 1904.
I saw this.
The ice cream cone was invented by a guy named Charles E. Minches at the World's Fair in you-know-where.
That's right. Right here in St. Louis.
Spell his last name.
M-I-N-C-H-E-S.
Oh, M-I-N. Okay. All right.
Minches.
That's a very important date for me.
1962, Jackie Robinson was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. He broke the color barrier playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers. 1962 into the Hall of Fame. Here's a sad one. Michael Jordan's father, James, was murdered on U.S. Highway 74 near Bennettsville, South Carolina in 1993. He stopped to take a nap in his Lexus. The people who did it are serving a life sentence, but that set off a chain reaction that transcended sports. 1996, the Atlanta Olympics. Carrie Strug made her final vault despite torn ligaments in her left ankle, clinching the gold for the U.S. women gymnasts and earning their first ever Olympic team gold medal. Remember Bella Caroli
carrying her off
and his wife, and they were, man.
That was a great moment.
And then finally, 2000, Tiger Woods became the youngest player to win the career Grand Slam at age 24.
Wow.
Won the British Open.
Very cool. Coming up, we'll tell you all about STL Fringe Fest 26.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
ABC News. I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. The U.S. has carried out nearly 2 weeks of airstrikes against Iran, and Iran is widening the conflict in the region with maritime traffic stalled in the Strait of Hormuz and Houthis targeting ships in the Red Sea. ABC's Martha Raddatz has more.
Iranian-backed militants in Yemen taking aim at 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea in an attempt to block international shipping, choking another key waterway that could have ripple effects for the world economy.
Barrel of Brent crude now tops $100. In Minnesota, Vance Belter was sentenced to 2 life terms plus 40 years in prison for killing Democratic state lawmaker Melissa Hortman and her husband last year and targeting another lawmaker and his wife the same day. ABC's Peter Haralambous says Belter pleaded guilty last month, taking the death penalty off the table.
He admitted to carrying out what prosecutors called a night of terror that shook Minnesota to its core when he disguised himself as a member of law enforcement, assassinated a top Democrat in the Minnesota House and her husband, and severely injured a state senator and his wife.
Protests broke out in Madison, Wisconsin, following a deadly encounter between police and a black man yesterday in broad daylight. Officers responded to reports of a person trying to open car doors. Police say the man was armed with a knife and fled on a bike. Officers caught up with him, and video circulating online appears to show the man wrestled to the ground before 3 shots are fired. At a briefing today, Common Council President Sabrina Madison questioned the escalation.
Corey has a family. The family poured into him, and Corey's family won't get to see his family's hopes and dreams for him.
The mayor is also calling for a full review. At least 2 people are unaccounted for following severe flooding in West Virginia. The governor says water rescues continue and severe storms are also inundating North Carolina and Virginia. Flood alerts could stretch into the weekend. You're listening to ABC News.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Good afternoon. At 4:03, we have 80 degrees and a mix of clouds and sun. I'm Vicky Pimentel, KTRS News, and here's what's happening. An East Alton man accused of making threats against the Bethalto School District and police is now facing charges. 35-year-old Mark Schrader is charged with 3 counts of making terrorist threats and 2 counts of threatening a public official. According to prosecutors, Schrader first made threats against the school district and the police department earlier this month. He communicated those threats to employees of St. Anthony's Hospital. Schrader allegedly told hospital staffers that he knew how to obtain a firearm in order to harm police and himself. On July 20th, prosecutors say Schrader told members of the Bethalto Police Department that he would take the lives of 2 officers. The Special School District of St. Louis County is making a policy change following a Department of Justice investigation that ruled the district violated federal disability laws. SSD says it will no longer use seclusion or supine restraint after the DOJ found the district used the practices routinely instead of just for emergency situations, which is the only time they are allowed under Missouri law. A recently filed lawsuit alleges a 9-year-old with autism and ADHD was improperly placed in a seclusion room dozens of times over 2 school years. Black bears are returning to the region, and the Missouri Department of Conservation has a way to learn more about them. KTRS's Brendan Wiese has the details.
The Missouri Department of Conservation will be offering a free virtual program Friday, July 31st at 10:30 a.m. on the Missouri black bear. These mammals have become quite prevalent, especially in the southern part of the state, but sightings in St. Louis are becoming a regular occurrence as well. The virtual program will investigate the comeback of the black bear and how to reduce possible conflicts as their population continues to grow. The program is free and open to the public. For more information, go to mdc.mo.gov. I'm Brendan Weesey, KTRS News.
Over 90 workers are getting laid off after the Parkway School District switched to a different food provider. The affected personnel include food service workers and administrators for Chartwells, a division of the British conglomerate Compass Group that specializes in serving schools. The losses come as the school district decided to switch to a different company, Southwest Food Service Excellence. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Checking the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At the close of business today, the Dow is down 512 points to 51,706. The Nasdaq off 551 points to 25,145, and the S&P down 91 points at 7407. Now for a look at sports and traffic, we check in with Paul Kopsky.
Vicki, the Cardinals are back home today to play Arizona in a makeup game that was rained out on June 25th. Michael McGreevy gets the start for the Birds, who snapped a 4-game losing streak with a 1-0 win over the Angels in Anaheim yesterday. And SLU basketball will hold a practice open to the public a week from tomorrow. Fans can claim tickets for free by going to SLUBillikens.com. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. An accident on 55 South at 141 has traffic jammed back to Butler Hill. 64 West is bumper to bumper from Prospect to I-70. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. In Illinois, 64 East is jammed from 157 to 159, and 5570 West is heavy between 255 and Black Lane. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 80 degrees and mostly cloudy. Tonight, a low in the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow, some showers with a high in about 74. The heat returns on Sunday with highs in the low to mid 90s. Currently, it is 80 degrees. I'm Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Thursday afternoon, July 23rd. Fox's Finest Meats, Seafood and Marketplace now open in Kirkwood. Yesterday, Fox's Finest opened on West Argonne, which is just across from Four Hands and Peacemaker. The new spot offers fresh fish, prime meat, and a gourmet grocer. Fox's Finest aims to function as equal parts butcher shop, seafood market, gourmet grocer, and neighborhood gathering place. The Beaties are supplying everything from the Wagyu beef and prime ribeyes to more affordable premium cuts, along with fresh seafood, prepared foods, sauces, pantry staples, and local products. The market is owned by a father and son team who both share the middle name Fox, a family name that's been passed down for generations. The duo has hired 2 chefs, 2 on-site butchers to help deliver top quality products along with unparalleled customer service. Sampling and education will be centered to the experience. Customers can expect recipe cards paired with tastings ranging from grilled ribeyes and chops to baked fresh fish. Prepared foods will also play a prominent role, with sandwiches being made to order. The Beatties say they're inspired by institutions such as Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market, but believe Kirkwood's historic neighborhood setting gives them room to carve out their own niche. Fox's Finest is now open Wednesday through Sunday, and I can't wait to check it out.
I can't either. It sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
So it must be next to the firehouse.
Yeah, and the Billy G's,
That
right?
would be, it sounds like it's up one more, or is it down more toward Kirkwood Road.
I'm trying to find out just by looking at a picture. I can't.
Anyway, it's right there. It's on that block, apparently.
I thought it was right across the street from Peacemaker. Like if you go, is there a little median right there? And on that other side?
Isn't that where the firehouse is, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of where the firehouse is.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay, Joe Pesci.
All the way up on the corner.
Oh, it's on the corner. Okay.
All the way up. And what is this cross street? Is this Madison or something? Clay. Corner of Clay and Argonne.
There you go.
So 2 doors up from the fire station.
2 doors down. Making a, yeah.
Not sure what's happening.
That's Dolly Parton. 2 doors down. Josh, will you find the real song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please. This is a weird one. I had to read it for no real reason except that it's weird.
Okay.
Scientists have identified a rare form of skin cancer spreading among. The discovery was made in Lake. All right, Josh, I like the weird pronunciations. Help me with this. Memphremagog in Vermont.
Oh, yeah. Memphremagog. God bless you.
Transmissible cancers. I didn't even know there was a thing.
I didn't either.
Are rare and have to date been identified in dogs, clams, shellfish, and Tasmanian devils. And it almost brought Tasmanian devils to extinction.
Oh.
In the teens, anglers began documenting black spots on the fins and gills of brown bullhead catfish. Researchers identified them as a melanoma, a strange diagnosis given that fish are underwater.
Yeah.
They're not anywhere near the sun, especially catfish, who are bottom feeders. Now they're studying the tumor's DNA, have discovered they're genetically identical, suggesting they were not caused by UV rays or a viral illness, but spread among the fish in fresh water. And some are speculating, David Thoreau talked about a black kind of leprosy among fish back in 1858 in catfish in Massachusetts. Could this be the same thing?
Oh, my goodness.
So it's just so odd.
And what if we eat the catfish? Can then it be transmitted?
Oh, it didn't say that.
So they call those zoonotic diseases, where you can spread them between humans and other animals.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you, Dr.
I'm not a
Gilbert.
big catfish fan, but this isn't going to help.
I actually love catfish, and I may be a little more skeptical.
You're not heading down to Darren's, Rich is famous for the catfish?
I'm going to ask him where he gets it. Does he get it from Vermont?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Oh,
Then
those
we're
are New England catfish.
maybe not.
All right. LeBron James, as we all know, is a free agent, and he's taking his sweet time deciding on what team he wants to join.
Or just telling us.
Or just telling us he might have already made the decision, and he's just not ready to tell us. Well, Adam Silver is the commissioner of the NBA. He came out and said recently, quote, I would like him to make his announcement already so he can finish the schedule. As you might imagine, the teams are calling us, the networks are calling us, and everybody wants to lock in the schedule. It will influence how we set the schedule. Speaking of Christmas Day, a huge day for the NBA, they all want LeBron's team to play on, but nobody knows
which team that's going to be.
Which team it's going to be. LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, says you can't rush these things. We're not going to be rushed. It's his choice to make.
Rich Paul, Adele's boyfriend.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a
There's been several people who called and said, Rich, is there anything more we could do to convince him? And he said, you don't need to go above and beyond. All the messages have been sent. We're just going to take our time to make our announcement. I'm with the commish on this one. Just because you're LeBron James or the star of the league, or I know it's your choice. And by the way, he doesn't have to make a decision until the season starts, in October? So he can take all summer if he wants. But we got a league to run here, people. And you are the star of the league.
I'd want to see the recent data of games with LeBron versus not, to see how much of a difference it makes. I'm not being a hater. I'm a fan. And it is a league of stars, and it's been built on stars. But that almost seems like we're overdoing it.
Well, and what I was going to say, if that's the case, if we're waiting on LeBron to create the entire TV schedule, then LeBron deserves a cut. I mean, that would be if that's really
We're not going to do that.
That's my take.
And in relative terms. So understand, that's my disclaimer. Relative terms, he's no Caitlin Clark.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Well, I don't even think at his peak, because people are watching the WNBA because of her.
Mm-hmm.
So,
by the way, the Fever had 70 points in the first half last night.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They're pretty good.
Crazy.
They're pretty good.
But again, yes, he is a star, and they are waiting on him to do their schedules. But he plays in the NBA. He wouldn't have a place to play without the NBA. Give the guys some help here with the scheduling.
I disagree with you on this
LeBron,
one.
and they say that he actually has his decision made, and he was going to give it, and then when the commission came out and said something, it irked him.
Yeah, I
so
get
now
it.
he's pushing back another week.
And just gonna wait. Like, why are you pushing me? I'm doing everything that I can.
Why are you waiting? Is my question.
Yeah,
here's what I would do if I'm the commish. Pick the 3 or 4 teams you think you could go to and put them on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
And they can always move a game or two.
They definitely will move it. I'll tell you, you should get moving, and maybe it's for a day or even a weekend to Springfield, Illinois. You know, we were just talking about the big things and things that you've stopped to take a picture with. And I said that big Paul Bunyan in Minnesota. Do you know they have a big Abe Lincoln rail splitter statue? It's really kind of cool. He's standing there with his boots on, and he's holding an axe. But there's so many fun things to see and do in Springfield, Illinois. The Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum is a must. You've got the Ace Sign Company Sign Museum, so many of the neon lights, which is really, really cool. And then you can go back in time and remember a couple of other things, like the Air Combat Museum, which is cool, and see some old planes. There's also the Adams Wildlife Sanctuary that we haven't talked enough about. So if you're looking for a one-tank getaway, because Springfield, Illinois is just about an hour and 20 minutes away, it's a perfect place to visit. You could actually plan out your trip. You can find the things to eat and drink, a place to stay at. Visit springfieldillinois.com. It's super easy because they even have itineraries made up. If you want it to be all about Lincoln, there's an itinerary for that. And don't forget the Illinois State Fair is coming up as well. You can learn more at visit springfieldillinois.com.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They could send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883. With summer already upon us, it's time to think about heat and cooling. If you haven't already, take a look at Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning. Not only are they a local St. Louis company, owned and operated by our neighbors, but they're offering some fantastic promotions right now. The first, get a free second opinion from Indoor Comfort Team. If you're not sure about what another HVAC company has told you, that's all right. Reach out to Indoor Comfort Team, and they'll come out to give a second opinion and some peace of mind. If it turns out you need a new system, they can help with that too. Get $2,000 off a new Train system with no interest financing. You can even get a discount on their VIP maintenance membership program at only $19.99 a month right now. That's 24/7 priority service and support, permanent discounts, tune-ups, and more. Check them out and see why St. Louis has trusted them since 1979. That's IndoorComfortTeam.com or call 314-894-8200.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation? Missy Mo. Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS. Talk of St. Louis.
We are here with the man, Ryan Raphael. He's the Medicare man of St. Louis. Ryan, one of the biggest misconceptions about Medicare when people reach the age of 65 is if they don't sign up at age 65, they get penalized.
So really what happens is when people are approaching 65, they get all the literature and things coming at them that looks like they have to do something. If somebody is working, they really do not have to sign up for Medicare as long as they're part of an employer of 20 or more employees and they can take it out down the road and not pay penalties.
So if you're over the age of 65 and you have not signed up for Medicare, there's no penalty. There's no reason why you can't do it at age 65, 66, or 67,
That
or
is
70.
correct. Yep.
That is Ryan Raphael. If you're approaching 65 and you have questions about Medicare, he is the man. The Medicare man, STL.com, 314-368-6808, Ryan Raphael. And if you don't trust me, trust my nanny. My nanny says he's the best. Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man, MedicareManSTL.com.
Tune in weekly to the Frank and Jill Show to catch the new Illegal Eagle segment featuring renowned attorney Travis Noble of Travis Noble Attorneys at Law. Every week, Travis will join the show for an entertaining segment focusing on legal stories and news right here on the Big 550. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
STL Fringe Fest 26 is right around the corner. It's a week of theater, musicals, dance, and more. Matthew Kearns is the president and artistic director. He joins us with a preview. And Matthew, this festival just gets bigger and bigger. I mean, what year are we on?
We are celebrating our 15th anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
We can almost drive.
It's amazing. And you know, how many productions can we see over the week? It's countless.
So there are 45 productions this year. Over the week, after this year in our history, we'll have created, presented, or produced over 700 shows in our history since 2011. Yeah.
It's so cool. What is kind of the mission behind STL Fringe Fest?
Our mission is to give place and space to independent artists who are not connected to any kind of company. And we're multidisciplinary, which means we can be theater, music, dance, whatever you bring to the stage. And we're going to celebrate and elevate that work. And the only thing we say no to is hate speech. Everything else is welcome. So you can literally see anything.
And you don't kind of judge it and put it in a thing. You just kind of step back and say, do your thing.
We step back and say, your voice is your choice.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age. You brought a couple of talented people with you. So introduce us.
I did. So this is McLean Blanner, who is of Debut Theater Company. And they are our headline act this year, doing a very interesting new stage production of Dear Evan Hansen.
In the round, right? Yeah. That's going to be super cool. Is it hard to get the rights to that? That's now...
It just came out. So there's a lot of people doing it in St. Louis. There's a lot of people doing it this summer. It's kind of all over as soon as they made the rights available. But I can guarantee that our production will be unlike any other you can see.
And that's the great thing about the Fringe Festival is if we have a piece of work out there that's known, it's going to be through a lens that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
We've never seen anybody stage this in the round. And I've known of the show for a long time now.
So maybe he'll have a ankle cast instead of an arm cast?
Right.
No,
not that unique, but you know.
What makes you want to do something in the round? We used to have the theater in the round here at Westport right underneath us. Now it's conference space. But what makes you want, what's the benefit of doing that? Why, you know what if we did this in the round? Tell me.
Yeah, so I feel like for me, it was about the intimacy of the show. I think Evan Hansen is a story that thrives on intimacy. I've seen it in huge houses and I've seen it in smaller houses. And I feel like it's always a lot more effective the smaller you go with it.
I think that's so interesting. I saw Fun Home in New York in the round, and same thing. You almost feel like you're in the play when it's in the round versus just sitting back and watching it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's going to be super fun. Well, before we get to your other guest, the Fringe concept came about when?
So we're about 80, 85 years ago in Edinburgh, Scotland. We had this group of artists that came to the Edinburgh Theatre Festival. They were told their work was not good enough and that they were to leave. And so they went on the outskirts of that festival, or the fringe of it, and they created the first ever Fringe Festival.
That is so cool.
Yep. And that's the same premise as we have, which is the stage is open, the work is yours. We're going to promote it, we're going to elevate it, we're going to connect you to audiences to help grow your work.
It's a fascinating concept. Introduce us to your other guest.
This is Suki Peters, the co-artistic director of the Cherokee Street Theater Company. You might remember from last year, the John Hughes Your Own Adventure.
Yes.
This year they are the Wizard of Oz.
Right.
And so tell us about that.
Well, after last year's really fun experience with Fringe, we were invited to come back. And for a very long time, our troupe had been wanting to do Return to Oz, but we thought, let's think bigger. Let's play in with a multiverse. All of us have seen a different version of Wizard of Oz, like one we always hold dear, right? Whether it's, Judy Garland, Wizard of Oz, Diana Ross and The Wiz, or the very odd Return to Oz. And so we thought, well, why not just explore what would happen if we took Dorothy from The Wiz and paired her up with Dorothy from the original Oz and sent her on a quest from Glenda in Wicked to go save Dorothy from Return to Oz. And that's sort of how the script was born.
So there's 3 Dorothys.
There's 3 Dorothys, and it gets really confusing.
Was it Fairuza Balk?
Yes, it was.
In Return to Oz?
So there's a nod to the craft, of course, in the show. Yeah.
Who wrote the screenplay or the book on this one?
So story concept and plot were myself and Rob McLemore, who also plays our Tin Man and who is also our John Candy in the John Hughes Your Own Adventure. And then he wrote the script and I wrote the lyrics. So there's actually parodies of the songs too that you'll recognize.
How cool is that? That seems like a big undertaking. How long have you been working on this?
Been actively pitching and brainstorming ideas since probably November, December. Been actively writing and rewriting and rewriting since probably January, February.
And is it something that you would ever want to be on Broadway, or you want to keep it local?
That's a great question. I think it's better as an off-Broadway piece more than anything because it's so weird and fun and just peculiar in the best ways.
And the Dear Evan Hansen and the Round and the Wizard of Oz and the John Hughes experience from last year. Are these things that are just unique to the STL Fringe Festival, or will you take this somewhere else?
So we always hope that they take it somewhere else. I always say that the Fringe is a garden and we're watering the work and we're nurturing it. And we hope that they grow and grow into other things like many of our works have. And so that's our goal. But even if they don't, they're always welcome here and the door is always open.
Matthew, is it all St. Louis or do people come in from out of town?
So it's about 85% local. And the rest are people coming in. There's a King John coming in, a Shakespeare that is rarely done, that is being done as a solo performance. This artist is coming in, he's doing the entire play as one person playing all the characters.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
How many different venues?
So we are fortunate to be part of the Kranzberg Arts Foundation. So we have 3, the Dot Sac, the High Low, and the Marcel. We also hub everything. Our artist talkbacks, drinks and snacks always happen at the UCBC right there in Midtown. And this year we're excited to add the Hidden Gem and the Golden Gem to our campus.
Such fun places.
They're going to host a party for us on Thursday of that week to 7 to 11 on the 6th. It's going to be music from 2011 to celebrate our 15th anniversary.
Cool.
Come on down. And their store is actually going to, the old Foo Bar is going to be a pop-up theater that we're going to turn into a theater for the week.
Oh, so much fun. How do people buy tickets? Is it for the entire festival? Can you buy it for one show? Tell us how it works.
So you can buy a single ticket. Single tickets range from $15 to $25 to $35, or you can buy a festival pass. And the festival pass for everything is $115 for all you can
all
Fringe.
of that?
The whole thing.
That
15
seems
years,
like a
$115.
great deal. Well, you guys continue to do incredible work. STL Fringe Fest 26 is August 3rd through the 9th. You can see the schedule, purchase those tickets online at stlfringe.org. Matthew, McLean, Suki, thank you so much.
Can I say one quick other thing?
Absolutely.
Our friend Sarah Fensky is joining the Fringe this year.
Oh, what is she doing?
She is hosting The Doctor. The Doctor is Dr. Jared Schwartz, who has created a game show. He's a Second City alum. He's an actual doctor, and it's a game show. Contestants will fight Jared. Sarah will introduce a disease, and Jared will describe it, and the contestants will have to see if the disease is real or not.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that sounds like
so fun.
Yeah, better than the contestants have to get the disease.
Right. And that would be immersive theater.
A little too immersive.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you guys, and break a leg.
Thank you.
4:31. Let's see how traffic's moving with Captain Paul.
Heidi, no accidents, but 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, and it's stop and go from Prospect to I-70. 6455 West is heavy between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 64 East bogs down from 170 to Big Bend and between Jefferson and 11th Street. And in Illinois, 64 East is jammed from just east of 157 to 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
The heat of summer has arrived with humidity, dew points, and constant hydration. But it's always cool and comfortable at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether it's summer camp, cooling off at the pool, or just relaxing in the shade, Gingham's is a great way to start or finish any day. Just add us to your to-do list. The management and staff at Gingham's would like to wish our customers and friends a safe and enjoyable summer, and to the United States of America, a very happy 250th birthday. Gingham's Restaurant St. Charles or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
Yeah, they're on the med, and these medications are used, these GLP-1s, for reducing inflammation in your body. I get so many folks that are like, wow, I don't have the knee pain.
Because once you start losing weight, all these other things naturally happen to you in a positive way. Talk about the deals for KTRS listeners at stlmedweightloss.com.
All KTRS listeners, they get $50 to $100 off their first month. And what's beautiful about it too, hey, I get it. The economy, what we just had, guys, things are difficult right now, but we make the plan work for you. We have financing options. We make this work for you because we realize how important it is to get down in your weight, get your confidence back, and really start feeling like the old you.
Call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
Did you know Florissant is 240 years old this year? Come out and celebrate 240 years of Florissant at the historic Old St. Ferdinand Shrine. Join the City of Florissant and Old Town Partners for an evening of community and fun. Festivities begin at 5:30 with the unveiling of a 240th anniversary plaque, followed by live music from Northwind's Band at 6 and a family-friendly movie beginning at 7:30. Food and drinks will be available from Knights of Columbus 2951, sponsored by CNB St. Louis Bank and Helfers. Come celebrate Florissant's past, present, and future. We'll see you at the Old St. Ferdinand Shrine.
That's Wednesday, July 29th. Join in the celebration.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
Due to the overwhelming success of Country Club Car Wash's summer sparkler promotion, they're extending it until further notice. At Country Club Car Wash, make sure it says country, you can buy 2 ultimate washes and get 2 free. That's a total of 4 ultimate exterior washes for only $52 at Country Club Car Wash, or $92 gets you 4 ultimate exterior washes and 4 interior cleanings. Available in store or online. cccwstl.com. Country Club Car Wash, cccwstl.com/summer-sparkler, cccwstl.com.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Bogus, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Don't miss Straight Talk on Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join this dynamic father-daughter duo every Saturday morning for an entertaining and intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. From decades of financial planning expertise combined with a deep knowledge of healthcare benefits, Aaron and Jeff will give you the Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
That might be one of my favorite Dolly songs.
I don't think I've ever heard this song.
What?
I don't think I've heard this song.
Okay. You guys aren't right.
The Essential Dolly Parton, I don't think I've heard this. It
Okay.
sounds great.
It's a must.
It's iconic Dolly.
Yes.
Fun.
You guys have never seen Dolly in concert?
Oh, I think it'd be so much fun. You know, I'm not a fan of country music, but I
It's
think it's
amazing. Well,
that
you're
would
just
be an
seeing a
experience.
performance with her.
Yeah.
She uses her nails to start 9 to 5.
Oh, does she do that?
Yes.
Like hacking away on the
With her
on the
nails.
typewriter?
Yeah, but it's her nails.
Oh.
Very cool.
Interesting. All right. I have an article here. Mentioned it back in the office earlier, and it got enough of a response that you guys would share with the rest of the audience. Things that customers steal from a restaurant. Some of these are surprising, some of them not. I
I want people to guess on the KTRS text line 84126, because my first guess was like a cute little either beer glass or a cocktail glass.
And you actually nailed one of the other ones that actually is the first one. By the way,
That's the first one on the list?
not beer glass, but the other one. I'll mention it in just a second.
Okay, I won't say anything.
84126 on the text line. Please be honest. No judgment zone. Because I've done things in college that, I wouldn't do today.
But we judge you.
You could judge
we
me.
definitely judge you.
I have stolen things from the restaurant. I'm not proud of it, but I may still have some of these things.
Okay.
What about borrowing?
Borrowing?
I mentioned to you in hotels a lot, and people know who've listened that I love ice cream. But if you get it out of the little, little shop next to the front desk, the ice cream is really hard, and they give you a plastic spoon. That doesn't work. So occasionally I might go into the restaurant that may or may not be open and borrow a metal spoon. But I don't steal it. It stays in the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the cleaning crew comes
Comes in
through,
and
and
they'll
then
take
they'll
it
see a spoon, and they'll say, well, this looks like
Yeah.
it probably belongs in the
A
restaurant.
couple people weighing in saying glasses, sugar packets, ashtrays, Moscow Mule mugs, steak knives, salt and pepper shakers, and steak knives.
We're hitting some of them. We are hitting some of them. The first one on this list, and Heidi guessed it, and Bob just mentioned it, spoons. But they made a point to say that little baby spoon that comes with your espresso at
Is
the
the
end of the
one
meal.
that, because when else do you see those? They're just so cute.
I think that it's pronounced the Dimitase spoon. It's that little baby spoon that comes with your espresso. People think it's so cute, and they just.
And I think it's so funny when you see mob guys using them in movies.
Yeah.
Let's whack this guy. And he's a little pinky. Oh, you give me a respectful right now.
This one says pictures.
Pictures
of what? I think the house I lived in, I didn't take it. We had a beer mirror from a bar that somebody
Somebody lifted it.
And the question, the next morning was, how the heck did they get that out of it?
Right.
It's a very long coat.
Yes. High-end soaps or lotions from the bathroom. And it's just, this looks nice. And then somehow
I
finds its
don't
way into your
want that if
pocket.
somebody else has been touching the.
Well, I mean, if it's a nice fancy restaurant, you can see why people would do it. This is interesting. Pins. People will steal the pen that you sign the check with,
Well-
especially if they're branded pens.
You see, the servers usually have about 8 or 10.
Oh, yeah, the smart ones do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they know that.
When I was at J. Buck's, we didn't have branded pens. We had to bring our own. So I'd have to go to the store, the Staples,
I was just going to ask if you have to buy your own pens.
buy your own pens. Here's one of the things, like if you go to like a Smith & Wollensky, or you go to a Gibson Steakhouse or a fancy place that has the branded pens, yeah, I want to take it home with me and then use it. And this is Bob. This is the pen I got when we went to Keen's in New York. Some of those places make the servers pay for those pens.
Oh,
Wow.
I do not think that's a good look.
So if you take the pen, the
Take the
server,
pen.
if you take the pen, ask the server how much do these cost, and then just add it to the tip. Whatever. I don't know. Or you know what? Maybe just don't.
I was going to say, let's not steal it.
Cups is on here. Someone mentioned the Moscow Mule mugs. Those are those copper mugs.
Oh,
They're
okay.
pretty cool. You find a glass that has a logo or something. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And you
Or maybe a
swipe it.
shot glass that has a logo on it.
Then you swipe it. I mean, I've seen that happen. It doesn't. Metal cocktail picks for straws. If you're going to melt straw at a restaurant. Oh, this is cool. Put it in your coat pocket. People are walking off with this. And then the ramekins that the ketchup comes in, or that the creme brulee comes in. People think those are cute and bring them. I've got like several ramekins at my house. I don't know where they came
Explain
from.
what that is.
ask your
I've never
wife.
heard that word.
It's like, hey, can I get a side of ranch or can I get a side of ketchup? And they come out in these little white kind of tiny little bowls, little cups.
Oh,
Those are called ramekins.
okay.
And in the restaurant industry, we have thousands of them because everything comes, a little side of this, little side of that.
Gotcha.
And so people think it's fun to take those home with them. I have some. I don't know where I didn't steal them.
Did your wife?
We'll have to ask her.
Finn,
Okay.
blame it on Finn.
Somebody said when I was a server, I would give them a big pen without a top.
Oh, yeah.
Smart. And a
Nobody
big
wants
pen-
to
nobody,
take that.
And nobody
No.
wants a big pen.
Nobody wants that.
Mm-mm.
Someone says I collect menus. I offer to buy them, but if they refuse, I might swipe one. They say they add $10 to the tip to make up for the
That's
cost of the
good.
menu. But yeah, okay.
Mm.
Yes, I saved my baby spoons and I used them for my coffee every day. Oh, okay. The babies. What else would you do with that baby? Do you have a baby spoon? Does your mom have baby spoons for you and your sister?
I don't know that she does it anymore.
I'm gonna ask my mom.
People have them though.
Yeah. And back in the day, they were. I
That
mean,
was the thing.
yeah.
My
You kept
mom,
all of it.
yeah, my mom's downsizing, so she's made boxes for all of us. So I haven't taken mine yet, but maybe there's a baby spoon. And then finally, many texters have already guessed this one, 84126. It's the steak knives.
Steak knives.
Because sometimes they come out and they're so cool looking. And have you ever
The
had
big
one of
ones
those
with big wood handles.
The big wood handles, or the
Those
ones
can be pricey.
with the butt that's got a little button on the back for your thumb? Put your
No.
thumb on and you're able to.
You're really eating fancy.
Yeah.
He is.
Um,
Darren must have been picking up the bill that night.
Shots fired.
There's a Los Angeles restaurant where the chef has started adding $950 to the bill if you walk out, or don't return your steak knife. If you return the steak knife, he takes the $950 and off again. This is because people regularly, as the texters, yes, walk off with these
So
things.
technically, you've walked off. You've already signed your bill. Can you add that money onto a bill on a credit
think
card?
What he does is he asks the servers to do an inventory when they bring all the plates back, before dessert. And everything.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get all my knives back? And he said he picked $950 because that is the minimum amount for a felony in California. So it's like if you walk off with that knife, you've just committed a felony in the state of California at this particular restaurant. So.
I would say that we have walked out of 11-11 with our wine glasses before, but then we just bring them back the next day.
Well, I think you guys have an open relationship.
Yeah.
Because you're there so often.
But have you ever been a server or worked in a restaurant? What has gone missing?
Oh, that's a good one.
84126, 84126. And then if you want to be bold, the text line is anonymous. Have you stolen something?
Somebody said, okay, Waffle House menu. 40 years ago, I used it as a dustpan for probably 20 years. That is,
Oh
you know
my
what? That
gosh.
is a good one. Because you can slide everything on it. It's
I
better
think
than a dustpan.
The employees at Waffle House have probably used it as a dustpan.
Well, and while we're on the topic, you know the dirtiest thing in any restaurant? Yes, it is.
You shouldn't have said that.
Well, I'm just trying to keep you safe. They say you should go wash your hands after you order because you're holding the menu. You know, speaking of food, that's one of my favorite things about traveling. And it's about trying different things. Like when we were in Finland, trying the salmon soup, which sounded, it was the most delicious thing ever. Now, I don't know what we're going to be eating in Iceland, but I cannot wait. And by the way, I was scrolling through today and there was like a list of the 10 most peaceful places on earth. Number 1, Iceland.
Wow.
And so you guys still have time to sign up and come along to Iceland with me. We're going to do it October 23rd. We are going to see it all. I mean, the Northern Lights we're going in search of with a tour guide every night to catch this miraculous beauty of a sky. We're also going to stay in Reykjavik, and that town I've heard is just absolutely fantastic. Great food, great drinks. And then we're going to walk those black sand beaches. We're going to see all of the waterfalls, even go behind a waterfall. It is going to be fantastic. And I posted something on Facebook today, and I said, come and be peaceful with me. And then, wink, wink, we're also going to be rowdy. So it's going to be a fun trip. If you can't do Iceland, but you're looking for that next trip, check out altairtravel.com because they have all kinds of fun featured destinations. And when you travel with Altair, it really is a fantastic way to travel. You can do group travel if maybe you're single and you want to go somewhere, but you don't want to go alone. They have all kinds of group trips like my trip to Iceland. Or maybe you just want to try something different and you're not familiar with the place. The folks at Altair can really walk you through everything that you need. They will set it all up from the flight to the place to stay and even give you suggestions on what to do or where to eat. AltairTravel.com or give them a call at 314-968-9600.
You know that honeydew list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honeydew list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis. So if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer. That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newsetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
10 minutes before 5 o'clock, Captain Paul, how's traffic moving?
Heidi, we just had an accident pop up. It's on 270 South at Big Bend, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Ladue Road. Estimated clearance time is 5:20. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, and it's stop-and-go at times from Prospect to I-70. 6455 West is heavy between the King Bridge and Poplar Street Bridge. 64 East bogs down from 170 to Big Bend, and between Forest Park, Grand, and 11th Street. 270 South is jammed between 64 and Big Bend. And in Illinois, 64 East is jammed from just east of 157 to 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
So after Hegseth's hearing, some Senate GOPs are expressing concern over Iran's endgame. Alexander Bolton with The Hill joins us to discuss. What are you hearing?
Well, I'm hearing several concerns from Republican senators on Capitol Hill. Number one, they're concerned about the lack of a clear end game for ending this conflict with Iran, which is having or threatens to have a significant impact on the U.S. economy. Oil prices rose 7% today, and we're now seeing, or just recently we saw the national price of gas rise above $4 a gallon. That really hits states like Missouri, where you have people driving long distances, transporting goods, going to work, getting products to market. It hurts farmers who have to pay higher input costs. And so that's a major concern. I'm also hearing concerns about rising civilian casualties in Iran, as the number of civilians killed in Iran are now estimated to be between 1,700 and perhaps 3,000. In addition, there are now 18 U.S. service members who've died in this conflict. So there are multiple concerns being expressed by Republican allies of the president who are worried that there's no way out of this war that's hurting the U.S. economy.
And, I didn't watch the entire testimony there, the questioning. Did he address any kind of end game talking about Hegseth? Was he asked about it at all?
Well, the Republican senators coming out of the hearing felt that and that is one of the big criticisms, is that, he talked about the cost of the war. He said it's cost $37 billion, but that number is being met with a lot of skepticism, both from Republicans and Democrats. I mean, there are estimates that have put the cost of this conflict at over $100 billion. The White House has requested, $70 billion to pay for the war costs. So, I think there's some, skepticism as to whether it's really only $37 billion as Hegseth has talked about. And then, beyond that, the peace plan that Trump negotiated or his envoys negotiated with Iran, several weeks ago. That got a lot of pushback from Republicans because it would have established a $300 billion reconstruction fund for Iran. And so, there's some question as to when this is all over, will we have to pay some of the costs to rebuild Iran? So, this has turned into, I think, a mess for the administration. And I think that's why Rand Paul, who was an opponent of the war from the get-go, said yesterday that it has left the United States in a worse position now than it was before the conflict started in February.
The war powers vote for the second time. The House passes this to curb, control, rein in the president's powers of war, and the Senate has again kicked it back and refuses to take it up. Thin margins in both houses, but what's the difference here between the House and the Senate when it comes to this war powers thing?
Well, I mean, this gets a little confusing because it's been voted on multiple times. The House previously approved a war powers resolution that was then subsequently approved by the Senate. So the Senate has approved a war powers resolution that was passed by the House. The problem is, though, that resolution that was passed by the House earlier and again today is a concurrent resolution that is not binding. It doesn't have the force of law, although it sends a powerful message to the president. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but when the Senate did pass or approve a war powers resolution rebuking the president, directing him to withdraw forces from the conflict, Trump had a meeting up here on Capitol Hill, and he berated the senators who voted for it, including Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, Rand Paul of Kentucky, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. And so after that very heated meeting with the president, you had a couple of Republicans change their votes, notably Cassidy and Paul. And so, that's why, subsequent attempts to move a war powers resolution, hasn't passed the Senate. But we have had one successful vote so far. But again, keep in mind, all this is symbolic because, the president can, veto even the binding resolution. So, the Senate's already spoken on this, but Trump has pushed back, and that has quelled some of the Republican, public criticism, at least.
Another story you're covering, Alexandra, is about President Trump's plan to sell access to Truth Social posts. I had not heard anything about this. Can you explain?
Well, I mean, this is something that was, made public last week. And that what Trump's media and technology company, which is the parent company of Truth Social, unveiled a plan to sell faster access to President Trump's Truth Social tweets, his social media tweets, to firms, to Wall Street trading firms, to banks, and the idea is that algorithmic traders, people who have computers that can trade, instantly based on the news, would pay for access to market moving truth posts. So, for instance, when the president announces something on tariffs, the stock market reacts. And so, if what Trump media and technology company had proposed is like, look, if you pay us a monthly subscription, you get those market moving tweets first, and that has generated a lot of controversy on Capitol Hill, in part because, according to media reports such as Reuters and CNBC, citing sources, the executives at Trump Media are talking about charging subscriptions of up to $100,000 a month.
What?
Or if you do a three-year plan, it'd be $60,000 a month, and potentially people can pay for that because with highly leveraged investments, you can make a lot of money on a market swing if Trump says something about either imposing or repealing tariffs or if makes it. We've seen just this year. Trump says something, a potential peace deal with Iran, and the markets rally because it means that oil prices are going to come down. So
how much?
There's a lot of money
how much quicker? How much quicker would the firms get it than the rest of us?
Well, I don't know that exactly. I don't think that's been detailed. It would be, it might only be seconds or minutes, but when you have these algorithms that trade on the news, just having it a few seconds before anyone else is enough for your computer to make a big trade. Yep. And so you'll see that if you ever try to trade on the news with your with whatever online account you have, you know that you're way behind every other trader using these computers that can move so fast.
I feel like this doesn't even sound like it should be legal.
Agreed.
Well, that is a question as to whether it's legal or it's not, and that is. I mean, the Democrats are saying it's corruption. I mean, I think Chuck Schumer, the Senate Democratic leader, called it the definition of insider trading. Now you can expect the Democrats to criticize it, but Republicans are criticizing it as well. Bill Cassidy, who I mentioned, called it wrong. Susan Collins called it inappropriate, and others said it's just not a good idea.
We really appreciate you keeping us in the loop. Like I said, I didn't even realize that was on the table. Alexander Bolton, thank you.
Thank you.
Lots of people clocking out, starting their evening. We've got more to get to. We're going to check in with Rich Frankel, ABC former special agent. He has just gotten word that the Secret Service threat now is higher than ever. We'll tell you about that. And we have a St. Louis-born comedian coming in studio, so you don't want to miss that.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Hostilities between the U.S. and Iran taking another turn. President Trump warning Iran it will strike bridges and power plants for each ship targeted in the Strait of Hormuz, and following Iran-backed Houthi rebels targeting 2 ships in the Red Sea. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
This could be a potential significant escalation or another move in all of this conflict in the region. The president says that the United States is going to inflict, quote, major military punishment on both Iran and the Houthis if this were to happen again, saying he will hold Iran responsible because the Houthis are a proxy surrogate group of Iran.
The Trump administration announcing a new nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia. President Trump, though, says it is contingent on Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz.
The Saudis can develop, the United States will help them develop a nuclear program, a civilian nuclear program, but will be able to enrich their own uranium. That is something that would not go over well, certainly with the Israelis, and people worry, as they have for decades, about nuclear proliferation. So this, too, it will be a pretty controversial move.
In West Virginia, the governor's office confirming 2 flood-related deaths following torrential rain this week. Governor Patrick Morrisey says water rescues continue.
400 efforts, the swift boats that came in, local, DNR. We had over 10 drones that were operating, 10 choppers that were busy is helping in terms of the search and rescue efforts. A real collaboration between folks on the local level and the state level.
Severe storms also hitting North Carolina and Virginia. And along the Gulf Coast, Bertha continues to trigger flooding. A day after making landfall near New Orleans, the storm making a second landfall in Texas. You're listening to ABC News.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group. And as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
We need to be very careful in this heat wave. You need to check on mom and dad, check on the neighbors, the senior citizens, the dogs, the cats. You need to be safe in this heat because it can be dangerous. And if your air conditioner has any issues, you call Gelmish & Sons. Why? Because they've been dealing with St. Louis summers since 1950. Gelmish & Sons is on hand, ready to help you in this heat wave. Give them a call, 314-993-1110 or gelmishandsons.com.
Good afternoon. At 5:03, we have 80 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. I'm Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News. A man accused of critically injuring a Ferguson police officer during a protest in 2024 has changed his plea. On the second day of his trial today, Elijah Gant entered a guilty plea to second-degree assault and resisting or interfering with arrest. The charges stem from a confrontation outside of the Ferguson Police Department during demonstrations commemorating the 10th anniversary of Michael Brown's fatal police shooting. Ferguson police officer T.J. Brown was injured after Gant ran into him, and Brown fell and hit his head. Gant is scheduled to be sentenced in November. A new report shows St. Louis is seeing a decrease in crime. KTRS's Jill Enders has that story.
St. Louis is among large American cities seeing a drop in crime.
That's according to a new report by the Council on Criminal Justice, which reports murders in St. Louis are down 2% during the first 6 months of the year. For motor vehicle thefts, the report found that St. Louis is down 5% so far this year. That's compared to the first 6 months of last year. Carjacking saw the largest decline, dropping 47% this year compared to last year. Jill Enters, KTRS News.
The federal government is accusing St. Louis University Medical School of racial discrimination in its application process. The Department of Education says it is launching an investigation into 5 medical universities, including SLU, over allegations they violated Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. The federal investigation comes after President Trump signed 2 executive orders last year targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and race-based processes in education programs and admissions. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Checking the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At the close of business today, the Dow is down 512 points to 51,706. The NASDAQ off 551 points to 25,145. And the S&P closed down 91 points at 7407. Now for a look at sports and traffic, we check in with Paul Kopsky.
Vicky, SLU basketball will hold a practice open to the public a week from tomorrow. Fans can claim free tickets by going to slubillikens.com. And last night, St. Louis City SC ran their unbeaten streak to 6 with a 3-1 victory at the LA Galaxy. Lucas McNaughton, Marcel Hartel, and Simon Betcher tallied goals for the visitors. Next up for City, home against Colorado. From the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. A crash on 270 South at Big Bend has been cleared with residual congestion back to Ladue Road. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker and from Prospect to I-70. 6455 West is heavy between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 44 West congested between the King Bridge and Poplar Street Bridge. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend and between 22nd Street and 11th. 270 South heavy between 64 and Big Bend. And in Illinois, 64 East is jammed from 157 to 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is cloudy and 80 degrees. Our overnight low will be in the upper 60s. Showers tomorrow, high in the mid-70s, low in the upper 60s. Currently, it is 80 degrees. I'm Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
Summer is a time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days, even movie nights. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, their struggles don't take a vacation. That's why all of us here at KTRS are partnering with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for a Christmas in July promotion.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. We'll be hosting another family movie night at Westport Plaza for a free showing of The Sandlot, Friday, July 31st. Come out and enjoy the movie on the massive screen at Westport Plaza. And bring an unwrapped toy or non-perishable item for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis.
Only 10 million more lists to go.
This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. So come out to Movie Friday, July 31st for a special screening of The Sandlot. Visit ccstl.org and make a donation today. It's the Royal Banks of Missouri Christmas in July promotion on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by Appliance Discounters, Connor Roofing, Metal Exchange, Galmish and Sons Heating and Cooling, Allen Roofing and Siding, and All Tear Travel.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
I don't know that I've ever heard Shattered.
Oh, it's so
Where
bad.
have you been?
I don't
All the things you just said to
know.
us about Dolly Parton. We're talking about the greatest rock and roll band in the world.
And
What do you think?
It's terrible, isn't it?
I feel like it belongs in Rocky Horror Picture
It's
Show.
terrible.
It's pretty bad.
I think, unlike the Dolly song, we all agree that's not good.
No, it's weird though. Some Girls, the album, Beast of Burden, is one of my favorite songs ever, and it comes on right before Shattered. What do you put these two next to each other? Shattered just sounds like kind of remind me. We need a song for the album, mate. Okay, It is, hey, it is the last song of the album.
Well, there you go.
And I must say, I've seen the Rolling Stones, but I'm not the biggest fan.
That's okay.
I mean, I would agree that I'm a casual fan,
Yeah, I mean,
but I have some favorite songs.
Okay. This Sunday, Kathleen Duncan returns home to take the stage here at Westport's Funny Bone. We're lucky that she came back a little early so we could get to know her a little better. Welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. So you grew up here. We have to ask the first question. Where'd you go to high school?
Well, I was telling Bob beforehand, I was kind of a problem child, so I went to more than one high school.
Ah.
I was angling to go to the public school, which wasn't allowed in my house. So I went to Villa Duchesne for 2 years and then was asked to not return.
Mhm.
And I then went to Ursuline Academy.
You want to tell us why you were
Yeah.
asked not to return?
We'll leave that to the viewers' imagination.
Okay.
I'm going to
No
assume
buildings burned down, though, right? I'm sure they know.
You're a comedian now. You probably talked too much.
I talked way too much. I got in trouble for talking. My conduct grade was always very poor. It's like, you just have to stop talking. But
I
I
mean-
probably had undiagnosed ADHD at the
Sure.
time, but nobody did anything about that.
I think it's very interesting that this wasn't your first gig. You were a high school English teacher. Would your former students say you were funny in class?
I think I was. There's a performative element that goes along with teaching high school kids.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of scrutiny. You have to keep them engaged. So I think it's sort of a natural progression. I do know a lot of like local comedians in California who are teachers. I think it lends itself to that because kids are really critical.
If you can do that, you can do anything.
Right. You got to have pretty thick skin for either of these things.
All right. So my brother was also kind of a problem child, but now he's a police officer. How do you get kicked out of a high school and then become a high school teacher?
Well, it's a good thing I'm not teaching anymore, Josh.
There might be another reason.
Nobody knows about that. Your high school records are not what people are looking at when you're getting a job. It's college.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
So, right.
So you grew up in what you describe as a loud Irish Catholic family. Was being funny just your way to survive?
We were all funny. My dad's very funny. He was a very funny guy. My mom was more serious, very devout Catholics. My parents went to church every day. And I think you had to bring levity to a lot of situations. There was chaos at all times because there were 9 people. Dinner was just chaotic. My mom cooked a home-cooked meal we sat down to every night. And it was chaos. So I think a lot of my siblings are very funny. I think it takes a little bit of a different constitution to then do stand up because it's not just being funny. But yeah, I think everyone kind of defaulted to that strategy.
And different from the family table where everybody's kind of reacting to each other and throwing shots.
Right.
That's not the same as writing material.
Right.
That's a whole nother skill set.
It is. And I think I was a high school English teacher. So I think my writing, it's changed over time because storytelling is very different than doing stand-up. So I think when I first started, I did a lot more storytelling writing, but stand-up, people don't have the patience for that.
Yeah. I've seen that before. I kind of felt it firsthand. I was doing a roast one time, and I started telling a story, and I could
It
tell
felt long.
I could tell it was getting a little long.
Kathleen, what led you to taking that leap from the classroom to the stage?
So it's interesting. I was telling Bob before you came in, I always like kind of thought about the idea. People always said I was funny. Oh, you should, do something. Then when I started watching that show, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I'm like, I can totally do this. This is completely doable.
Really?
Yeah. So that's what got me started in thinking about stand-up. And, I go to a lot of mics. I do different shows. And in general, the comics are pretty supportive. The experience that I've had.
Yeah.
Which is fortunate. So that's why I thought, well, I'll give it a try. What's the worst that can happen?
So true.
So what's your process for material? And like at the beginning, well, this is a funny joke, or tell me about that process and how do you get there and, putting together a 20-minute set, a 40-minute set.
So my process is observing,
Mm-hmm.
just observing regular things that are going on in life. It's a lot about like sort of what's my feeling around something, about waiting a long line, about airport security. What's my feeling about my kids, doing something for the umpteenth time? What's my feeling with my relationship with my husband, with my siblings? What are the feelings that come? And then just sort of writing material. I use my phone a lot and I just jot things down that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes jokes write themselves because just something really funny happened. So you just learn to truncate, like, what don't I need here? What's not important for other people to know? My comedy coach, Corey Craig, I'm giving a shout out to him. He is really good about saying, Kathleen, pretend that you're telling this story to a group of drunk kindergartners. And truly, because you can't get too deep, too involved. Don't assume people know anything. If you're talking about something specific, like get a little tag, like a little disclaimer. Like I have a joke that I'll tell at the show, and it's about my son having Tourette's. And I explain, for those of you who don't know what Tourette's is, it's a tic disorder that causes him to have involuntary movements and sounds. And it's that fast. I don't go into the details about like his diagnosis or what does this mean now. It's very quick. So, and then you try your material out at different mics and comics, like, although a very accepting community, if you get like a grin or a chuckle, you're like, all right, I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
So it's not nearly as generous as an audience when you come to like a comedy club. Everyone's there to laugh. They're there to cheer you on, support you. So that's a very, very generous audience. Comics, if they're like, yeah, that was funny, you're like, okay, that's a win. Keep that material. Yeah,
we're
for
talking
sure.
to Kathleen Duncan, who is a St. Louis born comedian who's returning home. You mentioned you're a wife, you're a mom of 3. Who out of those 4 gives you the most material?
Ooh. I would say my youngest, because he has Tourette's and he's on the spectrum. So he's funny. He does allow me. I do run my material by him to make sure.
How old is he?
He's 17 now.
And he gets it.
He gets it.
He's cool with it.
He's cool with it. I did a show for the high school. He goes to San Marino High School in San Marino, California. And they asked me to do, could I be the talent for the night? And he was like, I mean, I kind of like it, but like, it's also kind of annoying, So so there were certain jokes I would run it by him. And he's like, Mom, don't do that one because that's too embarrassing. So a lot of times I'm performing, nobody knows me, right? So there's no skin in the game for him. So for that, all the parents knew me, knew him. So there were certain things I would omit.
Does that make you a little more nervous?
Oh, yeah. I'm way more nervous about this show than anything else I've ever done.
The hometown show.
Certainly. Because I have former students who are coming.
Oh,
people I haven't
goodness.
seen for like 25 years.
Wow.
So, they're going to be sizing me up like, oh, how's she aging? How's her body? How's her,
Did your students at the end of the year and the yearbook and all this stuff, did they say, oh, you're so funny, Miss Duncan?
It was Miss Huffman at the time because I wasn't married. I mean, I felt like I was a very accessible, very approachable teacher. So a lot of the kids, I had classes that had 7 of the kids had IEPs within that class because they knew like I could kind of handle that.
Yeah.
So you taught here in St. Louis?
I taught at Lindbergh High School.
Well, for how many years?
I don't remember. Maybe 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yep.
English major, class of 2005, MIZ, CMU.
I was like, you're a child. And
Wait till you hear the question.
Do you get to pick the books, or is it like, okay, it's freshman year again, and we have to read Romeo and Juliet?
So the states decide what the standards are, and the curriculum is based on that. So you have to meet certain standards. So, I mean, the English department can weigh in on things that are of the same like genre or that are having the same tenets of things that you would be learning. But no, I'm not picking those.
So you wouldn't show any Richard Pryor, anything like that to your students because of the use of language and
right. There would be a lot of like, whoops, put your earmuffs on, guys.
Yeah.
Well, and back then they didn't, you didn't have access. When I quit teaching, I think I want to say in 2006, 4, I don't remember. And things have changed a lot now. The access, there weren't phones. I didn't have to fight with all that. I don't know that I would be like up for that challenge. That might be tricky.
Back? Do you have any jokes about teaching?
I don't.
Really?
No.
Wow, you would think that it would be
sorry, guys.
A font of comedy.
Please still come to the show. It's going to be great.
It is going to be great. You can see Kathleen Duncan return home this Sunday. She's going to take the Westport Funny Bone stage at 5, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and you can get tickets ahead of time at stlouisfunnybone.com. Do you say break a leg to a comedian?
You do.
Okay. Break a leg.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Embrace the darkness at Nocturnal by Nature. It's a free family event Saturday, August 15th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's happening at the Bush Conservation Area, 2360 Highway D in St. Charles. You'll discover what goes on when the sun goes down. See live owl presentations, explore an inflatable cave and night hikes, meet real night creatures, dissect owl pellets, get mesmerized by moths, and probe the night sky through a telescope. And free snow cones to boot. Come experience the Nocturnal in your nature.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group. And as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Okay, you've decided you want to get away. You want to travel. You want to see the world. Let Altair Travel and Cruises handle all the details. You handle all the fun. You don't know where to stay. You don't have to worry about transfers. What about your luggage? What about a tour guide? You don't want a tour guide. Lewis and Clark had a tour guide. You're in a different country. You want to go see the Sistine Chapel. You're going to need a tour guide. Let Altair Travel handle all those details. You handle all the fun. 314-968-9600. Altair Travel or altairtravel.com.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
What does the Science Center, Lambert Airport, the Magic House, McDonnell Douglas, and St. Louis firehouses all have in common? They all trusted their roof to Beatty Roofing. Beatty Roofing has been in business for 70 years. They're not storm chasers. They're based right here in St. Louis, and they've been doing it right for 70 plus years. And if you need a roofer, Beatty Roofing. In fact, first responders get an extra 10% off all roofs. 314-892-1331 or online, BeattyRoofing.com.
Wake up, it's a brand new day.
Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way.
It's the McGraw Show.
It's Carl the Intern Friday on the McGraw Show. Dan Zarlinga is going to tell us about the outdoors. We have a local author, Josh Goldberg, telling us about perseverance and something else. Forgot. Just tune in, you'll find out.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550 KTRS.
Into left field, it's number 3,000. Save! A Redbird winner!
The rivalry is back. July 27th through the 30th, the Cardinals take on the Cubs for a 4-game series at Busch Stadium. Whether you're wrapping up your workday or looking for a perfect summer night out, there's nothing like Cardinals-Cubs baseball. Share a night with friends, bring the family, or make it a date night as two of baseball's most storied franchises go head-to-head. Get your tickets now at Cardinals.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
We haven't talked about the World Cup yet today, and so I thought this was an interesting one. Spanish World Cup winners gifted their weight in tomatoes thanks to a very unique local tradition. So it's tomato season, and Spain's Fabian Ruiz and Gavi are about to rake in a harvest thanks to their World Cup win. The soccer stars returned and were feted at a reception at a town hall. In a video from the celebration, the two stepped on side-by-side scales of their respective weights are announced. And then Ruiz, who weighed in at 185, Gavi tipped the scales at 150. They then received their tomatoes. The tradition began in 2010 when Naves received several bushels of tomatoes for his part in Spain's victory, per ESPN. About 350 miles away, the soccer champions toured Madrid on Monday in an open-air bus following their 1-0 win over Argentina. And then with about 1.8 million Spaniards in attendance to celebrate. But ahead of that parade, this is when they had to step on these scales and receive their tomatoes.
Spain has something with tomatoes.
Mhm.
Remember that festival where they throw tomatoes
Oh, yeah,
at
that's
each
right.
other? Tomatoes actually from South America, so they didn't even know what a tomato was until they started coming over here and taking stuff back with them. I wonder what it is. Something about the Spaniards and tomatoes. There's something weird going on there with those two.
Yeah.
Do you have this Conan story?
Yes.
In your Hollywood?
Mhm.
I can't wait to talk about it.
Okay. We were talking about bands or artists that a lot of people say don't have a bad song. I think we have all agreed that everybody has at least one, but people are also sharing which songs have the dumbest lyrics, and there are a couple of them. Dark Horse by Katy Perry. She'll eat your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Ew. Oh.
I mean, I don't know that I've ever listened to the lyrics of that song.
She's kind of funny.
Kinda.
Katy Perry. She's kind of funny, but I don't think that wasn't
Okay.
necessary.
You know, Hey Soul Sister by Train.
Oh, I hate that song.
Your lipstick stains on the front lobe of my left side brains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doesn't make any.
Abracadabra.
I want to reach out and grab you.
No, no, thank you. That's not good. That's not good lyrics.
But that's at least a little better, right? Let's see. I can't even read one of these from Kid Rock because it's actually really awful.
No doubt.
Anyway, don't forget where you belong, One Direction. If you ever feel alone, don't. I mean,
good advice.
Very interesting. It's about 5:29. Captain Paul, how's traffic moving?
Well, Heidi, we are accident free, but 270 South is crowded between 64 and Manchester. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, and it's stop and go from Prospect to I-70. 6455 West is crowded between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 44 West congested between exit 292A and the Poplar Street Bridge. 64 East bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. And in Illinois, 64 East is jammed from 157 to 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
You know, it is a beautiful day today, but on Sunday, the heat is going to be back, and you better make sure that air condition is running smoothly. HVAC systems are pretty complex, and you need to stay on top of things. So when it hits 95 or 98 or 99, it is doing what it's supposed to be doing and cooling off your house. That's why you need to have a great team on your side, an Indoor Comfort Team, heating and air conditioning. That's the team for me. They've been around since 1979. So they really have gained the trust of customers all over St. Louis, and they have a couple of great offers for you right now. One of the biggest is that $2,000 off of new train systems. And I know, you know, when you have something as big and as expensive as your HVAC system, you tend to put it off for as long as possible. But now might be the time to go ahead and replace the entire system. If you purchase a new furnace, air conditioner, or a complete HVAC system, mention my name. My name's Heidi, by the way. And you'll get $2,000 off new train systems, no interest financing with approved credit. I mean, it is a great deal. And then the other thing that I really like is joining the membership program, the VIP membership program, because at that point, then you're always taken care of. For only $19.99 a month, you get 24/7 priority service and support. So even if you did something wrong, if you didn't have the thermostat set right and your house isn't cooling, they'll come out and you don't have to pay anything extra. There's no after hours, overtime, holiday pricing. There's a permanent 10% discount on repairs and equipment. And then you get the spring and the fall tune-ups. Oh, yeah, and you also get priority scheduling. So check out Indoor Comfort Team if you're looking for a new HVAC team, indoorcomfortteam.com, or give them a call at 314-894-8200.
We need to be very careful in this heat wave. You need to check on mom and dad, check on the neighbors, the senior citizens, the dogs, the cats. You need to be safe in this heat because it can be dangerous. And if your air conditioner has any issues, you call Gelmish & Sons. Why? Because they've been dealing with St. Louis summers since 1950. Gelmish & Sons is on hand, ready to help you in this heat wave. Give them a call, 314-993-1110 or gelmishandsons.com.
Did you know Florissant is 240 years old this year? Come out and celebrate 240 years of Florissant at the historic Old St. Ferdinand Shrine. Join the City of Florissant and Old Town Partners for an evening of community and fun. Festivities begin at 5:30 with the unveiling of a 240th anniversary plaque, followed by live music from North Wind's Band at 6 and a family-friendly movie beginning at 7:30. Food and drinks will be available from Knights of Columbus 2951, sponsored by C&B St. Louis Bank and Helfers. Come celebrate Florissant's past, present, and future. We'll see you at the Old St. Ferdinand Shrine.
That's Wednesday, July 29th. Join in the celebration.
The U.S. Secret Service Director recently said the current threat environment is the most challenging he's ever seen. Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge FBI, joins us to kind of explain what that means. When we say that the current threat is most challenging, are we talking to a threat to the United States, to the common person, or are we talking to the White House and this administration?
So I as far as I'm concerned, I think it's to everything. Because we've already heard from others and FBI, et cetera, that the current threat environment is very high. And quote unquote, I've heard that there's a lot of chatter out there, which we've heard in the past when we think, there's this heightened threats to the general public and to the government. In this case, though, it's the director of the Secret Service who's saying that this is the highest threat environment that he's ever seen, focused on the White House. And I think that comes from a couple of different areas. I think it comes from, of course, the Iranian conflict. You have Iran actually saying that they would want to kill the president. You've had the president say that he's the number one target of Iran. And we've seen the Secret Service take extra steps to protect the president both here and away, especially, one was the changing of the planes when the president was overseas. And then you also just have this heightened threat environment, which we've talked about in the past, as far as the Supreme Court, as far as public officials, as far as public locations, as far as the World Cup. It's just, for some reason, and again, it could just be the sign of the times. The threats that are coming in or being identified by the government, by the FBI, by the Secret Service, seem to be at an all-time high.
Rich, as you cover this, do you see frenetic and intense activity? Does it feel like those in charge, Secret Service, FBI, CIA, do you get a sense of them being overwhelmed because of this, or pretty much staying the course with calm preparedness?
Generally, I haven't seen anything where I'd say that they were, where it was, they're on fire.
Right.
I do think that they are handling this in a very professional manner. I do see at times when it is a little bit faster and quicker, and that they are going out on things that. Not that they shouldn't be going out on, but they're going out on everything, kind of like what we did after 9/11 to make sure that nothing happens. So something that 3-4 years ago you may have called it a low priority matter, they may be calling it a normal priority or a high priority now because of just the threat environment and the going out on it. But we have seen threats not only to the president but to the public. Overseas, we had quite a few small attacks on our embassies and other locations. We had the case here in New York where people were convicted of, being basically a cell for Iran and aspirationally wanting to kill the president as part of the overall case that was brought. You also saw the attacks on the president himself that he, on at least 2 occasions, actually 3 occasions that I can count now, where assassins basically came close to taking out the president. One being at the in D.C. at the Correspondents' Dinner. One being from that farmhouse. I think it was in Pennsylvania, and the other one was on the golf course where they were able to stop the guy, even though he had a weapon. They were able to stop him before he was able to take a shot. So we've seen quite a few attacks on the president.
And every threat is dangerous, but there is a distinction. Are a lot of these, you might have mentioned it already, but are a lot of these coming from outside of the United States or from people with other ties to other countries, or are these homegrown American citizens that we're getting threats from?
Yes. You actually named exactly what they are. You either have nation state, which I would call Iran. We have other threats to the United States, maybe not to assassinate the president, but we have other threats against the United States financially or through other means from other enemies of the United States. We have homegrown terrorists. Some people call them active shooters. I call them terrorists because that's their intent, is to cause terror. And you'll see that from across the spectrum. You'll see extreme right, extreme left. Maybe if there's even an extreme middle, we might even have that. But you see these people who have attacked people in churches, kids in schools, synagogues, at government facilities. So there is just, it seems that this time right now is when all these aspirational terrorists or fully functional terrorists are trying to do something to cause harm to the U.S. and of course, to the president when it is an assassination attempt.
Rich, do we have the manpower to keep us safe with all of these threats?
That's always a question. We can always use more. I know that the FBI is in a hiring state right now. I think other agencies are doing that too. But right now, I would say we do, because what usually happens is, the agency, let's just say it's the FBI or the Secret Service, gets a threat. They will either cover it themselves, depending on the priority, whether it's a low priority, a medium priority, or a high priority. If they need assistance, they will go to the task force, whether it's the Joint Terrorism Task Force, the Street Task Force, or Homeland Security Task Force. They'll go to that. And then they will also go just to the to local law enforcement. After 9/11, we could not have covered all the threats that we had as the FBI if we did not use local law enforcement. And they were able to go out and cover probably the lion's share of the threats during that time. So I'm sure that federal law enforcement is reaching out to local law enforcement when needed. But again, a little advertisement for all those agencies. They can always use more people, and they can always use more funding.
Yeah, and I guess it's a great time to remind everybody, if you see something, say something. We can all do our part to help.
Exactly.
Rich,
exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You know, that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, let's talk a little entertainment news, and we're starting with movies in the works. Glenn Powell will portray Yankee star Lou Gehrig in an untitled biopic. Tom Holland has started dance rehearsals for an upcoming Fred Astaire biopic.
He's light on his feet.
Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how he does. I think that would be a hard role to take. Just the dancing alone. Because I, years ago, did one of those dancing in St. Louis celebrity, use that term lightly. And we had
at the Ritz.
This one was at the pageant.
Okay.
And I mean, we were rehearsing once a week for the first however many months. And then at the end, like 3 times. It is so much harder than it looks. And I was with a, professional dancer. And they can kind of lead you and guide you, but it is hard.
And with a Fred Astaire biopic, he has to learn how to dance on the ceiling too, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Have you seen the Rihanna's Umbrella, where he does the dance kind of, what was that lip sync show that Jimmy Fallon had for a while?
No, I have not seen this.
It was Tom Holland's performance of Umbrella, Rihanna's song, on the show that Zendaya said made her fall in love with him.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
How about that?
That'll do it.
He really broke it down.
A Julie Andrews documentary is in the works at Disney Plus. There's a lot of kind of bio and digging in. I think Julie Andrews, a documentary would be kind of cool on that.
She's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah. I mean, just an interesting woman with a very, there'd be a lot to dig into with all of her roles. Tom Cruise is going to star in a Days of Thunder sequel. Do we need it?
No.
Okay.
I don't think we need it.
Max touched on this, but Elon Musk says he'll use AI to make a historically accurate full-length movie of the Odyssey by the end of the year. What will be accurate? We'll see. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone will return to theaters for its 25th anniversary with 12 minutes, Josh, of bonus footage.
All right. So I have seen some of this bonus footage. And, HBO has an option where you can watch a movie with this bonus footage. I wonder if it's the same stuff or if there's new stuff that we haven't seen yet.
Sometimes like in Apocalypse Now, when they re-released it with all the other
like
scenes,
3 or 4.
It was sort of interesting to see it, but you could also see why they cut it.
Yeah.
can see why
Just
they
too
left it
long or
out.
didn't make sense.
Or just
Somebody on
didn't
the
fit.
text line saying it was Lip Sync Battle, which I did watch. I liked it.
Yeah.
When did it go off the air? How long is it? Chrissy Teigen was helping out with it at one point.
Was it part of the Tonight Show? And then
No.
they said we could do a whole TV show out of this?
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
The morning show will end with season 5. The hit Apple drama with Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon returns with its final season in 2027. Jennifer Aniston said, "We were so fortunate to craft the conclusion with intentionality and honor these characters the way they deserve." So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Here you go, Josh. Conan O'Brien's new slicked back hairstyle, which everybody was talking about, getting a lot of attention, is the result of getting a sunburnt scalp at Barack Obama's Presidential Center opening ceremony. So he rubbed oil in it to help it heal and forgot that he was going to be on camera.
So he goes to the Obama thing. He's outside. His head gets sunburned.
Yes.
And they say, rub this oil in, it'll feel better. He does it. And then they say, Conan, you're supposed to be doing the podcast today.
Right.
Which is on camera. And you could see him slicking. He's making fun of himself. And he's like, I look like a greaser. Hey, Mickey, what are you doing? And it's like,
Well,
I don't know if I believe. I don't know if I
uh,
believe the story, but it's a good story.
What's not to believe?
Maybe he's done with that hairstyle.
Oh, he is not. That is him. It's like Richard Simmons changing his hair. I don't think you can do that.
Oh, what kind of hairstyle could Richard Simmons have?
Curls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Crew cut.
Tom Brady is reportedly having talks with the WWE about a possible match, most likely with Logan Paul. Doesn't he have enough money? Does he really need to do WWE? They've been taking pot shots at each other all year, and Tom literally slapped him.
My wife saw this on Instagram and she goes, it looked pretty real.
It did.
And I said, Tom Brady is probably the most measured person in sports. The guy, you can't get a rise out of him for anything. To the point of maybe being a little boring.
Right.
I don't think he would ever slap somebody in public unless it was part of a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That makes sense. But
Or maybe he's been medicated the rest of this time to keep his anger at a normal level, and now he's off of it.
Maybe.
We'll see. Morgan Wallen's Still the Problem tour is projected to set a new record as the highest grossing country tour of all time and the first country tour ever to pass the $500 million mark.
Wow.
Isn't that just, it's crazy. If you're looking for something to watch on TV and you are a Big Bang Theory fan, the series premiere of Stuart Fails to Save the Universe is on HBO. Kevin Sussman returns as Stuart Bloom in the spinoff of The Big Bang Theory, where Stuart travels the multiverse looking for a way to stop the apocalypse after an alternate version of himself sets him on a path. It looks ridiculous to me, but I know this is what a lot of people like.
I'm not a Big Bang guy or a 2.5 Men guy. This is a Chuck Lorre show. And what did he say on Sunday morning? He said, we've always done the 3-camera show.
And this is completely different.
Said,
One camera.
I've never
Like a movie.
done an adventure before.
Yeah.
I actually thought it looked kind of good.
And that's
I thought
why
it looked interesting. I don't know that I'll watch it, but I go, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. But the
there's something for everybody.
yes, that's right. The Elon Musk thing and the
AI.
Odyssey. I think the minor complaints that I've heard about the Odyssey is that a lot of the stuff wasn't period accurate, like they're wearing Roman helmets, and a lot of the language was real kind of modern. But is that reason enough to make a whole new movie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
A whole new movie out of AI.
I think that's probably the point.
Yeah.
Just trying to
see what we can do with it.
See what we can do.
And how does this compare? If the Odyssey is going to be one of the biggest movies of the year, it's probably Eon trying to one up it.
Yeah.
Let's do some birthdays.
Okay. One of our favorites. I think Heidi's got an edge, but maybe not, Josh. She's been recently in The Studio, Bad Moms, Crossing Jordan, Catherine Hahn.
I really like her.
She's terrific.
She is talented.
She was in everything for a minute there.
For a while there, she was in everything. We're the Millers.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes.
That's fun.
The Other Family's
Yeah.
mom.
Yes.
She was in Girls. She was in she's in a bunch of Marvel stuff.
Let's say she's 47.
I'm going to give her a couple more years and just say the big 50.
She's 53.
Oh.
Hard to imagine.
She's been around for a while.
Yes, she has.
Terrific comedy actor and from a famous family, Marlon Wayans.
Oh, he is. He sat in the makeup chair right beside me when I was at the Today Show.
Oh,
Is that
really?
right?
Yeah.
Was he fun?
He was fun.
What
Yeah.
were you promoting?
I was doing an interview with
The dancing
Kathy
show.
Lee and Hoda.
In Hoda?
Mhm. They do your makeup when you go in and do the interview.
Really? That's cool. So Marlon Wayans came in studio with Carney while I was working with him. And he was great.
Yeah.
He was so great. He was doing stand-up at Helium. And I asked him, I said, Marlon, just white chicks. And he goes, you'll never believe it, but 7 studios wanted that movie. And
Oh,
they
my.
all fought for it.
That's
and I
crazy.
said, I won't believe it, but I have no reason not to believe it.
Right.
Leave it to you to go after somebody's like most panned, ridiculous movie instead of
Why'd you
saying,
do that?
hey,
But
loved
look,
you on.
He put me in my place. 7 studios fought
Well,
over
yeah, he should.
that. Yeah.
All right, real quick.
Oh, how old is he?
We didn't do it. Did you guess?
No.
55.
Oh, it's 54.
Bang, got it.
Mm.
One of the top Grammy winners of all time. Heidi's going to nail it. Alison Krauss.
Oh, Alison Krauss.
61.
60.
55. And finally,
We aged her. She's been around forever.
has been around forever. Acting and comedy legend Woody Harrelson.
Oh.
65.
Woody's 69.
Heidi said 65. Bang, got it.
Finally, that's your evening entertainment report here on the Big 550 KTRS. All right, 9 minutes before 6. Let's get one final check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, no accidents, but 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, and it's stop and go at times from Prospect to I-70. 64 East bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. 270 South is slow between Ladue Road and Manchester. 44 West congested between exit 292A and the Poplar Street Bridge. In Illinois, 6455 West is crowded between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge, and 64 East is jammed from just east of 157 to 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, we talked a lot about food today in restaurants and people stealing things from restaurants. You're not supposed to do that. But if you're just going to have a meal at home like Bob did last night.
I did indeed. With pepperoni and sausage.
Pepperoni and sausage.
Terrific.
How many more do you have in case of emergency break glass pizzas?
We're running low. I think I only got 3.
Oh,
I
think
like
we
to
only
have about a
have
half a
one.
dozen.
Yeah, you need to have more than one.
Yeah, I've got an alarm set up to go off if we get below 4. Dogtown Pizza, they got 12 different varieties, so why don't you just have one apiece on hand at all times, just in case somebody comes over and say, hey, what's your flavor? What are you having? You can pull it out and give it to them. Heidi would be the veggie or the tomato basil garlic.
I love it.
Bob is the pepperoni and sausage. And you know what? I kind of like a hot chicken right now. It changes. It fluctuates. Pepperoni peppercini is my all-time go-to. But it's Dogtown Pizza. They don't care which one you get. Just get one of them. Or like I said, get 6. every local grocery store in town, dogtownpizza.com.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Before you put your home on the market, before you have to pay money fixing it up to sell it, before you have to pay real estate commissions, call me. I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I will buy your home. Any property, any condition, anywhere, and always as is. Call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. You have nothing to lose when you call Robank Properties at 314-283-0867.
Mark Lawson with Black Fox Cooper, your local Anderson certified contractor. Like you, I feel the effects of inflation every day. Costs continue to rise. That's why putting off replacing your old windows could cost you more in the future. New Anderson windows can make your home more comfortable, more energy efficient, and more beautiful, while potentially saving you more money on utility bills. At Black Fox Cooper, we specialize in Anderson replacement windows and offer a personalized educational approach we call the Window Room. Don't wait. Improve your home today. Call 314-270-1484. Online, blackfoxcooper.com.
Hey, Missouri, Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger here, inviting you to an unforgettable weekend at the Lake of the Ozarks. On August 29th and 30th, come experience the thrill of the 38th annual Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, the largest unsanctioned boat race in the country. It's free to attend, packed with high-speed action and exciting activities. Join me and thousands of others as we celebrate Missouri pride and community spirit while cheering on the race for the Lieutenant Governor's Cup.
Sponsored by the Office of Missouri Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's wrap this show up with a couple randoms.
Some cats seem unusually interested in melons and certain fruit, and it's because the fruit contains an amino acid that smells like meat to them.
Ugh.
Oh, weird.
My cat loves cantaloupe, which is in the melon family.
I'll be darned. I did not know that.
And we've
Did
always
you drop a piece and that's how you found out? Or were you feeding the cat cantaloupe?
I think we were cutting it up, and for the longest time, we let our cat sit on the
counter.
Oh, my God.
And you don't change that after a certain amount of time. That cat is still on that counter.
Now it's my fault, but now I'm chasing her off the counter every chance I get.
Mhm. And when you're here?
When I'm here, she's on the counter full time. But I think we were cutting up melon and we just left the rinds out, and then we looked up and just licking the melon. So I don't know. Cats like melons.
All right. Got anything else, or that's what we're ending it on?
That'll be it.
Okay, we'll do better tomorrow.
The melon story.
Yes. You guys, thanks for hanging out with us on this Thursday afternoon. Have a great night, and hopefully you'll meet us back here tomorrow starting at 3 o'clock. Until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident. We've specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale, especially C6, C7, and Classic Corvettes. I'm an immediate buyer for very clean, low-mile examples. Hop on our site, mastercarsinc.com, or give us a call to submit what you have. We'll even come to you if we have to. Owe money on it? Don't worry. We'll make the payoff and pay your equity right on the spot. This has been a fantastic Corvette summer, and I want to keep it rolling.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Amioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
Trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah. And now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news. Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And he wants him to do that. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
Yes, this deal with Saudi Arabia, the energy deal, is contingent on this condition as far as the president is concerned. So we'll continue to talk with our Saudi counterparts to get the deal finalized and hopefully see them joining the Abraham Accords very soon.
The Saudis have been against joining because they want to see the establishment of a Palestinian state. Israel doesn't. 12th day of attacks on Iran, ABC's Martha Raddatz.
Overnight here in Jordan, 6 Iranian missiles and 4 drones were intercepted, and the Kuwaiti army says drones were intercepted there as well. But this morning, a new front in this conflict with potential global consequences.
That new front, Iranian-backed Houthis establishing a second oil choke point at the entrance of the Red Sea, striking ships, oil prices skyrocketing more than $100 a barrel. Protesters today in Madison, Wisconsin, after police shot and killed a man who they say pulled a knife during a struggle. Mayor Cynthia Rhodes Conway identified the man as Corey Ruiz.
It does not matter who you are or what your past is. You should not lose your life as a result of an encounter with law enforcement.
The Justice Department doing an about-face over subpoenas issued to several New York Times journalists over a leak about the security of the new Air Force One plane. ABC's Catherine Falders.
The Department of Justice agreed to withdraw those subpoenas. Now, it's obviously a big deal that DOJ is withdrawing these. The chief counsel for the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, a man by the name of Sean Buckley, who was in the courtroom at the time, acknowledged in open court that the Department of Justice served these subpoenas before carrying out some initial investigative steps.
You're listening to